And we are live. It's Couchcross time. Did you see the logo, by the way?
Which logo?
I made a Couchcross logo.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. It came out so good. I was like, yes, perfect.
I was like, what should I do? I'll just put a couch. What's funny is I went on YouTube and I was looking for the somebody just jumped in. Not sure who it is. We're waiting for Doug and Tiller to get in here. But I was looking for the event that I scheduled on YouTube, and I searched Couchcross on YouTube, and I found Couchcross. Apparently, Couchcross was a thing in like the early 2010s, where people were literally strapping couches to like,
oh my God,
motorized vehicles.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, that was really happening. Let me make sure. Audio input default. All right, it's picking us up. That's good.
Yeah.
Chat. Who we got in here? Who joined us for Couchcross? Just go ahead and type something in the comment section. Let us know who you are and where you are from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Dalton. What's up, man?
So, I was in a practice session the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and some guy was just, everyone was just kind of talking, BSing before the race, and some guy was like, he got spun out in the practice, and some guys get salty in practice. Some guys are like, it's practice, it's whatever. You're trying new things, you know?
Right?
And he was like, nah, don't worry about it, man. He's like, honestly, he's like, I got my first win in this race ever yesterday, and so I'm expecting it to go back the other way. And the other guy's like, oh, dude, congratulations, you got your first win. Yeah, he's like, yeah, it only took me 2 years. Oh no, what am I in for?
For those of you who don't know, Steve has been on a wicked racing. What would you simulation?
Yeah, sim racing.
A sim racing kick. So expect him to be talking about that. I keep looking down here, like I'm looking at the camera. We actually have the camera set up across the room. So if he starts talking about like random racing at some point, that's what it is. He's on a wicked sim racing kick right now. So I expect that to be a recurring theme. I'll be like, man, that was a left-hand turn. Steve will be like, speaking of left-hand turns.
It totally gave me a new appreciation for oval racing. Like, I might catch a few NASCAR races this year just to see. I don't know if it's going to be any more interesting to watch, but now that like I've been on a track and kind of understand a little bit of what's going on behind the scenes, or like when you're on the track, maybe it might. I still don't think it's going to be as interesting as road racing, but
right. Well, real quick, for those of you who are in here, because there's a bunch of people who just jumped in, thanks for joining us for Couchcross. We are waiting for the broadcast to start. It should be starting any second now. And we're just going to hang out with you guys, watch the races, talk about them. If you guys want to drop anything in the comments, we're going to be monitoring the comments. Obviously, they're going to pop up on the screen so you can chat back and forth with one another. Some of you are on Facebook. Some of you are on YouTube. Some of you are on the website, and you might be able to hear the broadcast in the background. And actually, if you look really, really close.
See, so the last time we did Couchcross, we had a few of you that were like, hey, you guys should like stream the race while you're doing it, which obviously we legally can't do, but there's your answer.
There's your answer. You can see it backwards in the reflection. That's awesome. Coda, we're watching it on Peacock. My dad's watching it on NBCSN. That's a lot of letters. We're going to turn it up a little bit here.
Dude, that was such a nasty crash. Did you see what? So that wasn't necessarily a mistake. It turns out.
Wait.
Yeah, no, he's in. He said he was going to do everything he can to race.
Oh my God, I missed that. I thought for sure because I watched an interview with them the other day, and
I don't expect him to be 100%.
No.
I mean, he's young. He heals quick.
Yeah.
Apparently, on previous laps, the tough block he landed on wasn't there, and guys were jumping towards that. And at one point, in between some sessions, they put that tough block there, and it was to help prevent riders from jumping into the pits.
Right.
Instead, he landed on it. They ended up removing it, and then people were taking that line that he was taking after they removed it. So, I mean, that's not even his fault. That sucks.
It does suck. Here comes Heat 1. If you guys aren't watching this at home, you can catch it on Peacock, or if you have cable, you can catch it on NBCSN.
NSBNCDU.
That's my dyslexia kicking in. Here we go.
I'm curious to see how Jet looks.
Oh, and Jet takes the whole shot.
Pretty good start.
Yeah, he looks pretty good. Let's see how he holds up.
Wonder how many painkillers he's on.
Oh my God, that's.
Hopefully the track doesn't suck tonight.
Yeah, the tracks have sucked in Indy so far. I've not been a fan. They're decent rhythm sections so far, though.
Wonder if they just kind of simplified it because, I mean, the riders have been basically hinting at how much they have hated these tracks.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that little single tabletop into the long straight. Crappy whoops.
Brandon, I completely agree. Shimoda is on the podium tonight. I've got him in the number 3 spot in my pick'ems.
I mean, the two Yamaha guys are far and away better than everyone else right now, and Jet's back. So, and Moseman, I don't know, man. I think Shimoda's going to...
Moseman's not in tonight. Moseman.
Oh, that's right. They did just say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4th. I'm not saying he can't, but he's been far enough off the pace of the other guys to where I don't know. I guess it depends on how Jet holds up.
And quote, they said, I'm ready to win. So clearly that shoulder feeling a lot better. And he did come second in time qualifying earlier, guys.
All right, so he's feeling good.
Yeah. We always have to be quiet for Will. We have to pay honors and homage to Will. Oh, man. Dude, look at this rollout, though. You got to... His rollout of that crash was absolutely insane. It was like, I expected him to pop up and say, parkour!
Another mechanical issue. Just a night that he certainly wouldn't want to forget, but he has come back firing here tonight. He's got a great start, snuck up.
Brandon, let's see, we can do this. Brandon, solid in qualifying. I agree, it depends on Jet.
I just think Shimoda is one of those guys that I feel like is going to develop into a really, really solid top-level rider. He's like the opposite of Jet right now, though. Like, Jet has the pace, but he's reckless. Shimoda is super careful and technical, but he doesn't quite have the pace yet. So I think as both of them develop, you're going to see these two going at it for a lot of years.
Trying to get, I think I've got to resend this invite for Tiller and Doug.
The speed that he's shown since that podium is what's most impressive. You got to remember,
Here we go.
when he got that podium, he said, "This is not my podium. This is not the way I wanted to do it."
I love that attitude too. And Shimoda was like, "Yeah, I'm on the podium, but I didn't earn it. Like, I want to earn one." It was awesome.
I think, I'm not sure what happened with the link. They may have, when I closed it out before, it may have updated that link. Hopefully they can get in now.
And that's what Joe said. He said he is only right about
Look at that. Wow.
The only problem when the guys blitz the whoops like that is they can't stop and make that inside line. You saw the difference there between Oldenburg and Joe. That's the chance.
How bad do your whoops have to be to where riders can't even blitz them because it's the slower line? Did you see that?
Yeah.
he was like a full bike length ahead of him by the end of the whoops, and he couldn't slow down enough to come around the inside, and Oldenburg just took the spot back.
The whoops in Indy have been the absolute worst. If Mookie can't blitz them, then it's the whoops aren't good.
Well, that's the thing is they're blitzable tonight, but the way they set the track up is that you can't blitz them because you don't have enough time to slow down in the corner.
Right.
How many drugs are the track designers in Indy on? Because
oh, he gets a bump from Oldenburg. So
what?
through that section, Lawrence.
Where are we going here?
Will now take over the lead. We'll see
I'm trying to get Doug and Tiller into this here.
Plus one lap.
You think Jet might have just taken it too easy, thinking he was running away with it?
Doug and Tiller, I'm not sure if you guys are watching us right now, but if you did, I just sent you another link on Discord. I think the link updated. So if you go on Discord, you should be able to find the new link. There he is.
That's a smart thing to do. He feels like, you heard Will, says he feels like he can win. So
what up, Tiller?
What's happening?
Come back and say, you know, Oldenburg, I'm not going to let that slide, but I'm going to give it right back to you, or does he let it go? I think he lets it go. I think it's big picture at this point.
Should have Doug in here any second.
Was Oldenburg that fast, or was Jet taking it easy? Because
I think it's got to be a mix of both, right? I mean, like Oldenburg's definitely not slow, but I mean, I'm honestly surprised Jet's doing as well as he is today. Either they were overplaying his shoulder situation, or I don't know.
Or he's on a lot of painkillers.
Yeah, he could be on a lot of painkillers.
I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, that's a possibility.
I wonder if he just got out front and decided to take it easy, try to save some for the main event, just in case he's worried about the shoulder or whatever.
I'd hope he's doing that. Oh, damn. That's what I was waiting for to happen in this corner all night long. I wanted to see what was going to happen there.
See?
Oh, man.
Couldn't slow down.
Oh!
God, that's Shimoda getting...
Wow!
Oh!
Damn.
That was an aggressive move. That was aggressive.
He is feeling good tonight, though.
Oh, did you see him fly off that tabletop, though? Holy shit.
Oh, my
That's
God, what
awesome.
a drive.
You just got too far into that corner.
Fucking tough box, man.
Oh, yes, we're streaming onto YouTube tonight, Tiller. So just keep a
Oh, 10-4.
the language
Family friendly. This is a family friendly Couchcross.
Yes, the friendliest for the families.
There he is. You see that SUNSTAR logo?
I couldn't get everything to work on my laptop.
Oh, well, I apologize for the link. I think I closed it out and then opened up a new. I'm not sure what happened, but the link changed. You guys were trying to get into a show that wasn't up. Did not exist.
That was like one of the most intense and wild heats I've seen all season.
Crazy.
Yeah, just like the couple like really big things that happened in it were big enough.
Yeah. I can't believe how aggressive Shimoda was there.
I love it. It's funny,
Yeah, I love seeing that out of him. That's great.
Yeah.
I was just sitting here talking about how he's like,
So smooth.
he's not as fast as Jet, but he's always been more consistent and careful and smooth. And like suddenly now that Heat 1, he's like, nope, aggressive.
All right, we got a few people in here. If you're in Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're at, let us know in the comments where you are from. Dad, I know where you're from.
Bring it over.
What up? What up?
Hey, Doug.
What up? Can you guys hear me and stuff?
Yeah, we got you loud and clear.
That's a really sexy couch.
Okay. Thank you.
Wait,
I can't even see what he's sitting on.
Dude, you floating?
My dad says Shimoda is going to be a stud.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. Traverse City, Michigan area. Brandon Blair. Bet it's cold.
there's another one. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
That's not too far from you, is it, Doug? How far?
I'm sorry, I can barely hear you guys.
Oh, really?
Traverse
Yeah.
City is like right on the lake, isn't it?
He's cranking. Hold on.
Oh, Green Bay's not
Benjamin's
warm
from
either.
Green Bay.
What about that?
Steve spent a couple of days in Green Bay.
I did.
Yeah. What was the question, man?
I was wondering how far away from Michigan you are.
Um,
I can't think of geography right now.
like 2.5 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured you weren't too far.
The funny thing about Green Bay was I thought like the cheese thing was kind of just like, you know, meme kind of a thing. Like, oh, Green Bay cheese. Like, no, everywhere I went, like the menu, half of the menu was like different types of cheese. and it was delicious. Appetizers were just fried cheese and cooked cheese and cheese covered cheese with side of cheese that you can dip in cheese. It was really good.
I would have figured it was pretty like cheese meme too. I mean, obviously, I assumed everywhere has cheese curds on the menu, at least one form of cheese curds. But yeah, I figured the cheese thing was totally just, you know, memes and then Packers fans with the cheese on their heads.
Yeah, no, I thought the same thing. And it's pretty nice. It's small. It's really flat. It's not like a big city like, you know, a lot of the other places that have all these NFL franchises and all that. But it was really quiet. Everybody was super, super nice. I enjoyed it for sure. Not all of the things to do there. I mean, it seems like the whole place is best cheese curds.
Curds.
Oh my God, they were so good. It feels like the whole city was kind of like built around the stadium and around that franchise. Like,
Third, but he was fast, man. I caught like the last 3 laps.
Ben, what's your favorite kind of cheese, man?
My favorite kind of cheese?
Nah, dude. Talking to the comments right now, man.
Oh, sorry, I'm still getting everything set up. I had to take everything that I do the podcast with and like move it all the way across the room.
You're shifting.
Yeah, so I'm all discombobulated.
I showed up late, my bad.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's gonna be a killer episode, though, man.
Yeah, it is.
Killer.
Got a few more people just popped on. If you just came up on YouTube or Facebook, let us know where you're from. Curious where everybody's at watching the races.
and let us know what kind of cheese you have where you're from, because that seems to be the theme of the night.
Cheese. I love cheese.
Munster cheese is highly underrated.
Right?
Oh, Munster's one of the best for omelets, man. It melts so good.
My
So
daughter
good.
was agreeing with you that Munster is her favorite cheese. In fact, we went to a wedding down in North Carolina a couple of months ago, and we met with a bunch of friends that I went to high school with, and somehow we got onto hang on, we got an interview with Jet.
He's not crying and he's not barking.
Yeah, like you said, I'm just trying to play it safe and just make sure I get through the night. I felt like I was riding fairly smart. I was staying in my comfort zone, and I knew Joe was coming, and I made a stupid decision to get Oldenburg behind me because I stopped there for a long time. I don't know why. And ended up somehow working out for me. Joe ended up in the top.
Are you guys getting audio feedback from your TV?
You're getting audio feedback?
Yeah, from your TV.
Hang on. Yeah, flat back. That sucks. We're gonna have to turn it down. Well, that means that we don't have to listen to the broadcasters. Cool, right?
Hey, watch what you say about.
Wait, can you not hear them at all if you turned it down?
Well, I'm just turning it down enough. Like we can hear a little bit. I don't want to listen to broadcasters anyways. So I want to have a conversation with you guys. I don't need to listen to Ricky talk. If he starts racing again, let me know. Then I'll care.
Seriously.
That's how I feel. I got these two 12-inch PAs, and I'm like, how do I angle them so they don't hit the back of the mic?
Good luck.
Yeah, Yeah, you guys can't hear the broadcast over mine, can you?
No, I mean I hear a little
Somebody's-
bit, but it's not like distracting from you guys.
I can move.
You might hear
I guess we
mine
can
a little bit.
You can listen to it through your guys.
Right. Dad says, I bet Craig pulls the whole shot. Let's see if he's right.
Oh, who went down?
Oh,
Wow,
Good
Dad.
call.
Good
Good call. Dude, these two are.
Was that Miller again?
There you go. My
Yeah,
dad
Miller
called it.
isn't even racing. He didn't make it.
That's what I figured. It's his teammate. Yeah.
That's
After I asked that, I remembered.
he's got a projector set
That's
up.
awesome.
All right, here we go. Blue bikes up front. Surprise, surprise.
Right? Coda says if Dungy can't get it right, it might be hard for Ricky to.
Yeah, that's a good
That's a
point.
really good point. I don't know. I mean, Dungy is a little younger. It's really weird. Like, I don't know. I was kind of hoping we got to see what he could still do. Like, he's not that old,
Maybe his coffee sales will pay for a ride next year.
right?
See it a little better now.
Dude, these guys have no idea to take these whoops with that corner at the end like that. Like, they're still figuring that out.
Right.
Well, I think it's going to depend on like a situational basis, like who's behind you, how far into the race are you? Because if there's nobody right behind you, sure, like take the fastest way through. But if there's somebody right behind you, you definitely want to take the defensive line because they're going to do like what Shimoda did,
Yeah.
go up on the inside.
If you don't have to be defensive, you can blitz the whoops and just kind of take the long way around.
Yeah, especially as the rut develops, I imagine they'll be able to just like blitz through, get in the rut, keep
There
going.
it is. Wow.
There it goes.
Oh,
How
I said
far-
no excuses.
Oh.
Did you guys see that? He's got a piece of paper on his bar pad tonight that says no excuses. If you can see it from here, he got rid of the light, and there's a piece of paper on his bar pad that says no excuses.
That's luckily these guys both race pretty clean, so it's not like out of the ordinary for them.
And Nichols isn't about to throw it away to like beat up his teammate in the heat either.
No, he's gonna win everything he puts his name on, man, or at least try to.
How frustrated is Craig going to start getting, though, when he realizes he's just not as
I
fast?
feel like the layout of the track better now.
I think he's already come to that realization.
Yeah, it is.
If he hasn't, everybody else has come to that realization.
Where's that spine that they had?
Well, that and if he's really, kind of like at the end of his 250-ish career, he's definitely got to be kind of frustrated if he doesn't feel like he's really got it in the bag.
It
Yeah.
didn't do anything, though. It didn't change the outcome of any race.
No,
Except,
AP was good on it.
yeah.
Yeah, Ben says Nichols shows no mercy. Craig needs to step his game up. Yeah,
Yep.
I just don't think he can. I think Nichols is just flat out faster. I mean,
Number 2,
he is faster than everybody right now. Well, he's on another page.
he was banging that out.
I really like this setup.
But yeah, AP, dude, for 5 laps was literally picking time up on that spot.
Oh yeah, dude, Nichols is walking away.
Telling you, man, he's in that zone right now. Like, it's going to take some pretty serious something to knock him out of his groove. He's just feeling it.
Well, I mean, and there's something to be said too. I think for the heat race, the fact that I don't know, maybe Nichols is just like, I'm not gonna waste my energy trying to chase down my teammate for, 2 gate picks potentially in a heat race.
Right.
Yeah, but
I mean, if I was Nichols right now, I'd be like, I'm gonna let Craig blow his load, and then I'm gonna take advantage of it later.
The main's going to come. There's a guy named Joe on a Kawasaki.
Yeah.
yeah, Grant's a Shimoda fan after Tuesday.
He should be.
He should be. Were you guys able to watch his heat, or were you moving everything around?
I got to disagree, Coda. I don't think Moseman's faster. I think Moseman has potential to be up there with those guys, but I don't know. You give me a 3-lap sprint, I'm taking Nichols every time.
I think Moseman's still figuring himself out.
Sure, he could be. I mean, I think he can develop for sure.
Yeah, he's still young.
How old is Moseman? I don't remember.
I think he's like 20. Pretty sure
Yeah, I think he's south of 20.
That's where they had the spine on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go do the googly. The googly goo.
Googly goo.
Has anybody taken that line that Jet was taking or Joe was taking in
Yeah,
that rhythm with the table?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but I have to no doubt that's probably going to end up happening. He was flying in that section.
He's actually 21. He'll be 22 in July.
He's still young.
Yeah.
Coming across the start gate.
No, damn it, they just showed it. We'll obviously see it multiple times tonight, but it's
I
just
do I like the rhythm sections.
there's no
Section of that. My only complaint so far is that tabletop.
bank on it.
The wolf's into that corner. I like that too. That's
They're not going on anything serious.
That corner going into the finish line is going to be.
Yeah, stop doing that section with that turn. So right here,
He qualified pretty well.
Who has that?
Go down, but he like.
up to the top of the tabletop.
Hey, have they said anything about Harriman?
All they said, not on this, no. The last thing that I heard them say was during the show when they said that they caught him on his way out, and he was like, I don't know, I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ben, on the Mosiman comment. He's going to work his fitness out for sure, because he does fade big time at the end.
Well, he's going to have 6 to 8 weeks to work on nothing but running and cycling. So.
There you go. Plenty of time. Coda says he was rough on the Husky. The gas says everyone riding better than ever.
It's a pretty cool system, huh? So we're
not good bet so far.
No, yeah,
all the comments together.
I agree. It's pretty much put
really?
gas.
And then they're up on the screen.
Oh, I didn't know there was comments.
Yeah.
Oh, Craig was doing that line that Joe did.
Yeah, he just did it.
He's getting a half a second.
Wow, Nichols just did it.
5 second lead.
No, it's not that long.
Joe finding the lines that are going to be used in the main. So far, like going back and looking at some of the replays and whatnot, he's hitting those lines in the heats, and then they turn into the fast line in the main. So he can like almost predict the future. It seems like.
Is that something he's been doing in the earlier races this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he just so Nichols started doing it and it worked. So
Yeah. Well, that's like at the last race on Tuesday when we were calling it the Joe line, and then the 450 started running it, and then the 250 main started running it. He's not afraid to try stuff, and I love it. See, old Joe getting after it, man.
Dad says the Yamis look good. I mean, in the 250 class, Dad, they really all kind of always do.
she brought chips.
I thought about it on my way home.
Water down.
I thought about stopping.
Nichols is good.
Hey, is there a spare over there anymore?
This is cool.
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention. My
That one.
guys did make it through. Awesome. Wasn't even paying attention to them. That was awesome.
All right, who else we got in here? Anybody in here that wasn't here before the races started? If you're new into the broadcast, let us know where you're from.
Commercial break means pee break.
Oh, Steve's doing a pee break. This is cool. This is cool that I have you guys on the broadcast now, because the last time we did the Couchcross, I don't know if you remember.
Steve.
When Steve would go to the bathroom, or if I went to the bathroom, it would be super awkward. But now I can at least talk to you guys.
Right? That's Coda. I've been watching Troll Train very closely. I have a vested interest in that team in general. But you got to be careful on the old YouTube. Everybody looks fast, man. That's but I do think him and his brother are going to come out and do real well. I don't know who else is running that coast, like big name wise. I know both Martin brothers.
Yep. I can look that up right now.
I do expect them to do good. I mean, they're about as professional 250 as anybody. Yeah, McAdoo. McAdoo is going to be pretty stout too.
Yeah.
If he doesn't get hurt, that's the big thing. I think Club MX has a couple.
Yeah, Club MX definitely has a couple of riders.
They have McAdoo this year, I think, don't they?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember who their other 250 guy was. And they were supposed to sign Fast Freddy, but that fell through. So I'm not 100% certain kind of what their plans are.
Let's see.
I almost want to run to the store and get chips, but I don't want to lose my spot.
Hunter, do we have any update on Hunter? I'm pretty sure they were saying that he was confirmed for the West.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything saying he's not. The last thing I heard was that he is
confirmed to race the West, but I didn't hear when he would be coming back.
The last I heard, he would be good for round 1 with the West.
Man, Hunter disappoints me.
I haven't, other than him getting injured, which disappoints me, I haven't seen anything.
But he's always injured, it seems like.
Yeah, well, that's true. Like he won one race in outdoors, and then he's been basically injured since then.
Yeah. And it's kind of
So we've got Swole's on the West, McAdoo's on the West, Jordan Smith's on the West, Amaker, Pierce Brown. Oh yeah, forgot about Pierce Brown. Pierce Brown's one to look out for. Justin Cooper, Jeremy Martin, Garrett Fry, Luke Thrasher, Alex Martin, Mitchell Harrison, Carson Mumford, Joey Crown. That's one I think we should watch.
Oh, that just clicked in my head. This whole time I've been realizing that J-Mart wasn't going to be until West, but it didn't hit me that it's going to be J-Mart and A-Mart, same coast, both Yamahas. Like, I knew it. It just didn't click until just now when you said that. That's going to be exciting.
Who do you think? Who do you guys have as a favorite in the West right now?
J-Mart's definitely one of my favorites. I mean, I know a lot of people don't really care for him too much in Supercross, but man, I don't know. He did so good. I think he's either going to come back really strong or just not be impressive at all. But I don't believe that he can't on that bike.
So I think if Cooper takes the next step, he's my favorite for that in that class.
Ooh. Oh, brutal. Let's see. Dad says Gas seems to be the hottest bike this year.
Yeah, because Coda said he wants to go check one out.
Yeah,
it looks super comfy.
Dude, look at Sean Cirillo's outfit.
It's definitely a shiny new object. That's for sure.
Well, and it's been showing success at the professional level. Win on Sunday, sell on Monday.
Yeah.
I guess in this case, they sell on Sunday.
Yeah. Guts.
It is sweet.
How's Cade going to do tonight, guys? Is he going to make it straight into the main? This is a tough heat.
Cade Clayson?
Yeah.
Benny with the Kansas City. I hope you go down.
I don't know about Clayson.
He really made the race yet.
He did. He finally put it together last week.
Here we go.
He did all right.
The only way I can really see him doing it is if Chisholm
the only reason
gets
he
knocked
made the race
out
on two-star is that red.
Yeah.
I hope that happens in the main.
Oh, is that Osborne?
Yeah, Zacho is in the number 3 spot.
He finally got a start.
Oh no!
What? Oh, shit. Okay. You're like
in the LCQ. Nobody needs that.
Tomac and Osborne getting starts. Watch, they just blew it in the heat. Now they're not going to get it in the main.
Well, hey, look. At least we're gonna get a rider in the LCQ. Looks like Brayton's gonna be in there, maybe, unless he passes everybody.
So the good thing, I mean, so that's kind of nice because it kind of like it lets one of the guys that would be LCQ bound, that you normally are worried about getting starts and not making it out of the LCQ. They're probably going to make it through here, so they don't have to worry about starting the LCQ. And Braden's a safe start in the LCQ, and he'll most likely make it out. But
That's a racing deal.
Don't try to body move.
I want Bloss to make it straight through.
That seems like Brayton overjumped a little into that one.
Yeah. And unfortunately, he got caught between a rock and Mookie.
Yeah. He almost hit the old Mathis net.
Oh, yeah, he almost got caught. We wouldn't have known what to do.
Who was it that got caught in it? The round one in Indy 1.
Right there. It's like there's nothing there.
But that turns kind of
Oh, was it Noren?
coming out of the woods.
I think it was Norn. Yeah, somebody did a Spider-Man impression in the nets.
Doesn't make any sense.
Oh,
What's up with that turn after the whoops? That thing's shady.
See, that's what we've been talking about, man. It's nuts. Like, you can't blitz the whoops because it's too sharp of a turn, so you have to slow down at the end.
In the 250 race, 5 guys went through the whoops, and then they all just like went like this around that turn.
Yeah, they just
no speed at all because you can't have speed going through that.
So I think what's going to end up happening is these guys are going to have to start jumping those whoops so that they can time it.
Right.
So they have no momentum coming into that turn. That's such a crappy design.
Yeah, when they got in, it was like a slow motion flat track race.
Yes, it did. That's exactly what it looked like.
And that one too, at the end of that long stretch, right there.
Oh no, Chiz!
Oh, Chiz!
Did I pick Chiz tonight? I did not pick Chiz tonight.
He's stuck.
So Chiz and Brayton are going to be battling in the LCQ. So that's
speaking of those whoops.
That's what I call whoops.
Whoops.
Well, do you think, Doug, that they'll end up like maybe blitzing on the left side of the whoops because they'll have a wider, a bigger radius rut coming out of the left side where they can just like whoop through, get in a rut, and then kind of slingshot back into that rhythm section instead of having to really like worrying about it being so much more
spars right there at the end of that straight.
Well, the biggest problem is like you saw that to get the momentum to blitz the whoops like that, you have to go to the outside on that berm, which is going to put you right on the inside of that flat.
Oh yeah, you can't really blitz the left side because it's just that would not work out.
Also, you're seeing the few guys who have tried to blitz the whoops get past, even if they're in front, they're getting passed by the guys who don't because they have to go so far to the outside at the end. They just can't, like, the faster line through that whole section is to go slow through the whoops and take the inside on that end corner.
Yeah.
That's Tuesday. They nailed the whoops. Besides them being a little on the big side, they had them in a good spot on the track.
Right, yeah, they were in like the perfect spot on the track. They just get a little overzealous when it comes to that.
Right, I just don't understand why they think this is a good idea.
Yeah, a lot of guys.
Wasn't even That's too much. Rosen
I'd rather than just put a friggin' sand sector in there instead of they want to throw them down.
I'll take sand over,
especially if it's crashing. Right.
I don't know. I'm digging the way this whoop section is turning out tonight. Like, yeah, it's not a traditional whoop section where it's, just blitz city, but I think it's going to provide some interesting action. I mean, we saw it right there in the first heat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an equalizer.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's going to mess Cooper Webb up. You can't jump
really?
and just go into a turn with no bank.
Coop's one of the only ones that was handling them.
Right there, that's ridiculous. There's nothing there.
Yeah, I don't know about that section. That seems.
I think it would have been a lot better if they put a banked turn there. Yeah. So you could blitz the whoops and then just go up around the outside. To keep
exactly. Cooper Webb's going to jump 2 whoops and be like, oh, wait.
How many is it? Is it 6 or 7? It's 7 whoops, right? Is it 6?
I thought it was 6, but I don't know.
I remember trying to count it looking at the track map, which obviously isn't necessarily going to be the same thing as real life, but on the track map,
Like
it looked like they had
right
really
there,
short
too.
ones first and last.
It looks like Clayson's catching up to Gardner. He's
all-
only 1.6 out.
Yeah.
Tomac's catching Roxon.
Tomac looks
He
great.
figured a line out.
Tomac and Roxon are slinkying right now.
I don't think either of them are pushing too much right now. I think they're probably content right here.
Tomac gained 3/4 of a second on that lap. That turned two.
Blitz.
Just ripping him.
He's just hard on the brakes coming around.
Oh, all right.
Let's see how much. So
He just, yeah, he
Roxon
took it
blitzed it and had to slam on the brakes. Tomac went a little bit slower and came around the inside, and he gained a 3/4 of a second right there.
Yeah.
So
Can't-
blitzing is not faster,
Riders.
which is going to be such a mind screw for guys who usually blitz the
Right.
ropes really well.
He's just gonna ride it out. He knows he's in.
Roxon everywhere else. Right now, anyways.
I don't know, man.
I know, right? He
Lots
races.
of tense there.
Honest. Money. Sign that bonus check, boys.
Something like that.
Braden going to the LT. Wow, he was in 11th. Where is he going to finish?
I don't even get a.
There's no way he could pass Clayson and Gardner.
Dude's
It's
gonna,
like
you know,
that
some
on
dude's
auto.
gonna go into that turn and just wipe some and then go. Oh yeah, I want to see that.
How do you feel about that comment, Doug?
Shimoto.
What's that?
How do you feel about this comment?
Which one?
I just put it up on the screen.
Webb is a master.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's an inside line assassin, bro.
Right. I noticed that too, and I'm not a dirt bike guy, but I wonder what he's gonna do out of this whoops because on Tuesday he was jumping whoops and then he'd go into the corner and he'd use that to his advantage.
I think that's exactly what he's
He's
going to
going
do.
into a flat corner.
Like probably double his way through the whoops and then land on the inside of that corner, square it up, and then get to the next.
Yeah, but how do you square it up when it's flat?
Well, that's what inside the corner is normally like the flatter part, anyways, right? And he's always pretty good at coming up on the inside.
There was already a rut being.
Yeah,
on
and I
that
think that was
inside right
David's.
now.
That was David's point, is that he's good at doing that without a berm. So he's going to jump through it on the inside and just square up that part as best he can and take it. I think that actually probably benefits Webb, if anything.
And
I
by
think
that,
coming out of the corner though, if he goes in on the inside of the corner,
No, they're talking about coming out on the inside.
so he can just ride.
Yeah.
Well,
I think-
that
I think
the
it's
last
going to get jammed up down there, though. There's going to be everyone's going to be doing that.
Yeah.
yeah.
oh well, the interesting thing about that corner though too is that it's going to get perfectly fixed up between every heat and race because it's the start corner
Right.
too.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's even going to have half ruts.
Right.
Is
They're going to
Webb
totally
an
smooth
instant
it out.
guy or a recluse guy? Some of these guys are running recluses, and I can't remember if he is. That could help him out on the inside turn a lot too, because it's not like he has to worry about really stalling out the bike.
Right.
I thought all the KTMs were on the same.
I don't know.
Let me
I
look.
don't think so. I think it's rider preference.
I thought it was.
Watch Webb just blitz the whoops on the outside and prove us all wrong.
Right.
Yeah, but it's just on me and Grant.
Yeah, I can't imagine that they like if a rider was used to a recluse and he gets on the KTM team. I'm assuming they're not gonna switch that up on them.
Yeah, it might make it worse. I gotta go see my kids real quick.
Doug's going to poop.
Oh, yeah.
What was that?
All right. Catching back up.
They were pretty loud in there, yeah.
This one.
Yeah. If they see me, they're gonna freak out.
Bring him on the couch, man.
No, I'm trying to put him to bed,
Oh, never mind then.
but
Yeah, I don't like holding babies.
dude, especially like my kids are like mini kegs with heads, man. They're pretty solid. So
Mini kegs with heads.
yeah.
I hate this part.
Yeah, this is probably
He's
the worst.
got a Henson on his bike.
Go do the goldfish, man.
He's got a Henson. All right.
I'm pretty sure that's what it says. I'm looking through pictures.
It doesn't have the big spider on the side, then it's either a Henson or a Boyson. So I'd imagine it's Henson.
Woo! Look at all those green bikes.
This must be the LCQ.
Yeah, we got second heat.
Yeah. No, it's
But yeah, basically that'll be the LCQ too.
that's going to be the LCQ bikes, except for who was it? Brayton. He's going to be like the only non-green guy.
Yep.
And Chiz.
Mason didn't make it, man. Dang.
Brayden got all the way back up to 11th.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, we'll have a
Right there.
be there too. So
That'll be a
Yeah, he's got Henson in his bike.
yeah, I'd imagine depending on if nobody gets knocked out of this race, Brayton and Chiz are just gonna run away in that
We're
LCQ.
about to find out.
For the Waver Tomac, he is a master at sweeping.
Unless they get caught up in the start corner massacre that is the LCQ,
Oh,
which I hope they don't.
Oh yeah,
So whatever line Cooper Webb takes out of those rhythms or whatever, that's basically what.
So I know you guys weren't a fan of the Thor gear, but look how non-baggy it looks on Hard Ramped because he's so big.
he is a big dude. He is.
where's Anderson gonna finish?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's gonna make it through to the main.
In the top 20?
That's how confident I am.
That's Grant said 13th, and I don't
even know what finger he dislocated.
Yeah, I don't think they said. They just said dislocated finger.
I mean, if it were an index or middle finger,
Yeah,
No way. All on the inside. Who's gonna get the whole shot?
green bikes. Ed?
I think Barsha might get the whole shot.
Yeah.
You're gonna be seeing Cirillo. Watch.
Orange bike? Orange. Oh my god. Look at all those.
Come on, Abe.
Marv?
Oh, Bogle.
Bogle?
Pile up.
Bogle's good at the starts, man.
Yeah.
Is he the new Michael Levy?
Fast.
Bogle is the new Michael Esty.
AP just made a great pass. Keep going.
Hey, we got AP right up there too.
Oh,
I see
yeah.
the orange.
What
Camera.
is that? What? Well, this is unexpected.
Marv just destroyed him in that rhythm section.
Yeah, he did. Well, Marvin's a heat hero. I don't think Mooskin has gone through a single main event without ending up in a crash so far this season.
He's had it every single time.
The inside going into the whoops is faster too somehow.
Barsha just had an interesting line. Jumped the floor and then blitzed the rest. I don't know if he meant to do it, but it looked like it worked out pretty well for him.
You're going to be seeing that change all night. Like, riders are going to be trying all sorts of different things.
Oh, yeah. Who was it? Tomac in round 5 was doing something like that in the feature. He was blitzing the first couple, and then he went into jumping about halfway through, like the section, not even the race. It was
Yeah, I remember that. It's always weird seeing Tomac
in the corners.
Last 2 corners on the freaking track.
Oh, there's AP.
Who is AP?
The fact that Noren's even in a potential transfer spot right now is kind of blowing my mind.
I can see Davalos knocking Noren off the top 9.
Oh yeah, no, I believe that'll happen. I honestly, after seeing, I mean, I know it's a different bike, different team, but I just remember like being impressed with Noren during outdoors.
Yeah, he's good outdoors.
And just the fact that he's not. I mean, he's not even. There's been times where he's been in the back 10 in an LCQ, and it's just kind of blows my mind sometimes.
Is Anderson going to do that random thing where he shows up for a race because, oh my God, everyone's like, oh my God, Anderson's one of the fastest riders on the track tonight, and then disappear again?
Yeah, probably.
Is tonight that night?
No, Barsha got him.
All right, never mind.
Adam.
Dude, Barsha's got the corners dialed.
Yeah.
Dude, he's flying.
He was getting held up by Anderson there for a little bit. Finally got by him.
Cooper Webb's putting on a clinic bang.
Barsha?
I like it where they don't end up singling into that corner.
Maybe.
Not the one before the finish line, but the second to last corner before the finish, when they do the line where they're doubling into it or tripling into it and not doing the single.
Yeah, I can't believe Webb didn't fold up the front end when he passed.
Oh.
I got to not during races.
And he's just throwing tough blocks onto the track because everybody needs those.
Oh, Mustard?
Bro.
I think he's like 2 minutes ahead of us.
Yeah.
Ben, I'm pretty sure you're like 2 minutes ahead of us.
Who, me?
No. Benjamin Graves in the comments. He said Muskin down. And then like 2 minutes later it happened.
Marv.
So I guess Barsha.
I think your dad said NBCSN or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Is a little bit faster than Peacock, so I don't know.
That would make sense.
Ben, are you watching it on cable or are you watching it on Peacock?
Don't worry about it, man. It's not like you spoiled the heat for me or anything.
Yeah, you don't. I'm not calling you out for it. I'm just saying that was pretty interesting because I thought you were joking when you said.
Normally it's the other way around too.
Uverse. I'm going to be totally honest. I'm not sure what Uverse is.
Uverse is AT&T's TV package, but that means he's probably still watching it on the actual NBC channel on Uverse TV and not the Peacock app. I could be wrong.
Coda says if you watch it off the app, it's a lot faster. He crashed like 3 minutes ago.
Oh, what? But yeah, they might actually have it in line with
Oh!
in person.
No!
He's still going to make it through.
I just want to see Marvin Muskin go through one race day without going down.
Well, I wonder if Muskin blames AP for last week too, and if we might see a little drama from that because AP shouldered him into the tunnel.
That's true.
Body slammed him basically. That's why Muskin went down last week in the main.
That was the Tuesday race, right?
That's the thing, though. A lot of times it hasn't been Muskin's. At least half the time he's gone down, it hasn't been his fault. He just got caught up in some random stuff or somebody took him out.
Straight deadlift going.
I want to see what he did in this heat. Because by the time the camera got to him, it just showed him in between the tough blocks, right?
AP just took that first whoop like it was a wall jump.
A little awkward to watch.
Single.
All you hear is his bike. Like the last two races, I could tell every time Barsha was on the track. That's all you hear.
Is he back to revving the crap out of it again?
Yeah. It was almost annoying while you're in the thing. Like, in the
And then just kind of like letting off at the end.
Yeah.
What's going on the inside?
It sets them up pretty well for the rhythm coming on the other side of that turn, though. Oh, there's Michael Lessie. Went down.
that Bogle?
Yeah.
Weird.
What, Bogle going down? It's not that weird.
On average, he's doing a lot better than I thought he was going to do this year. I was really worried that he wasn't going to be able to make it through the outdoors with his whole, like concussion situation.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's still doing this good is kind of exciting. I was really kind of worried that he wasn't just going to be all there, to be honest.
Watch. And he goes down. Oh.
Webb hooked up the Barsha pretty quick there, though. Like,
Yeah.
he was on his tail the whole time.
Dude, what is with these riders throwing their bikes into oncoming traffic?
Whoops.
Yep.
Whoops.
And Goldfish is awesome.
Goldfish.
That section's going to be sweet when you get 5 fast guys that can win the race.
Yeah. Watching Barsha go through the whoops, it was kind of interesting because he was actually, when he was blitzing them to the left, like coming across to the left. So he could set himself up for the corner instead of just going straight in. It was kind of an interesting line. We'll see how it turns out when he gets other fast people around him. But.
Yeah, I think you can. I think Tiller said it. You can get away with blitzing those whoops if there's nobody around you. But how you got to really be careful about opening up that inside right now.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to get sent into the stands after those whoops.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
After they grade the track and everything and the A main for the 450s, there's going to be nothing that you can set your tire on. Somebody's just going to go in on the inside and send it. Just like AP did that cat in the tunnel.
Right. You're silly if you think I'm not going to send it.
Man, I got up for that.
The race the other day. We got LC. I'm going to the bathroom again. I had too much caffeine today.
Yeah, apparently. Steve's peeing again.
I had all the caffeine.
That's where everyone broadcasting can message themselves. It's easier just to text at this point because I'm so far away from my computer.
Oh,
Dude, I have like a 10-foot USB running. Like I have my laptop running the projector, and my tower because it's tucked way over in the corner where the sim rig is.
yeah.
Like I have a 10-foot extension with a like a 4-place USB to run all the equipment. It was fun trying to get everything to get hooked up and then make sure all the drivers are running right and everything.
Yep. My stream setup was pretty easy. Well, it wasn't too bad. So I've got my camera on a tripod in front of me.
Yeah.
I've got my computer over here.
The link was kind of bad though. I don't know.
Did Doug just say Simric?
No. He said setting up his stuff wasn't too bad, and I said, well, apparently sending the link was kind of bad.
Oh yeah, it was.
We were.
Yeah, me and Tiller are sitting in channels that don't even exist.
I have no idea how that happened, so I apologize.
Fine. Forget you guys. I'll do my own Couchcross with blackjack.
Yeah. I'm sitting here. It's like 8 o'clock. I'm trying to call Jesse. Like, what is going on? Like, did your internet go out again or something?
Oh, by the way, right before the podcast the other day, my internet just randomly goes out.
Oh my god. Wow.
I was about to have Doug just do the podcast on his own. Oops, are all about. Oh. whoops are all about having the balls to carry speed with the throttle on full, dragging.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going through the whoops in these races takes more commitment than marriage, man. Like, you just have to trust that you can keep the bike straight. That's really the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You want to ever trying it in real life. I'll do it on video games, but not in real life. I'm
Just
out.
bring the whole damn thing out here.
See if you can get a sponsor from Goldberg.
Seriously. Put it right behind the computer. Power to the Ground, sponsored by Goldfish.
Yeah. Goldfish, if you're looking for people to sponsor. Boom. Look at that.
Found some branding. I love this.
Dude, the little kids and the last two that I went to, they're actually really entertaining.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, because they did that with England, right?
Yeah.
A zero figure. Yeah, being a little super wet, jumping through the-
It's going faster through the whoops, and half the guys in those heats.
It would be so hard to watch now. I'm so used to watching those races when I go to Atlanta and just hearing the wee, wee, wee.
Yeah.
I need, like being able to sit in the stands and not hearing a thing and just watching them go.
Having a polite conversation, sipping on some tea.
Yeah. These kids on silent motorcycles.
On their motorbikes. Okay.
The smell of two strokes.
Oh yeah, Daytona.
Yeah, they're racing at Atlanta Motor Speedway too.
Ben, you're not alone with people that don't like e-bikes, but tell me whether you like it or not, bud.
I mean, this Graves kid, they have a big thing going on like the GNCC websites and stuff about him. His he messed himself up pretty good on a motorcycle accident, like on the street, but he races GNCC and whatnot. So it's but he's paralyzed now. Well, they don't.
Oh,
know
it wasn't a racing incident?
but
Oh yeah, brother.
that's it's actually if you have time, preferably not during our podcast or our broadcast, but maybe after, go over to GNCC's Facebook and check out like his whole story. Like his mom and dad keep everyone updated. They had a lot to do like in GNCC, so it's a pretty inspirational story.
Did you say he didn't get hurt on his dirt bike, but it was a street bike?
Yeah, it's like I think by seeing some of the pictures, it looks like he took maybe like a YZ 450F or something like that and turned it into a supermoto, like a street legal supermoto.
Oh wow!
And he was coming across the bridge, and I think what they said is the front end washed out, and he hit a guardrail or something like that. It's been a minute since I read like what actually happened in detail, but following the posts and stuff like that, that kid's a fighter, man. He not taking no for an answer, and it's great to see.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I like seeing those kids that don't quit when they get in those situations.
Yeah, he's a young fella too. He's got to be in his teens, I would imagine.
I wonder how much help he's getting from Road to Recovery.
I'm not sure. That's for my birthday and stuff every year. I always do one of those Facebook Road to Recovery things. Those dudes, I really like that charity.
Do you guys have for Amazon? It's called Amazon Smile, so you can like set it up on your Amazon app on your phone and on your browser, to where instead of just buying straight off Amazon, you can go to like Amazon.smile.com, and what it is that you pick a charity, and almost every single one of your Amazon purchases, a portion of it goes to the charity that you pick. And I've set mine up for Road to Recovery, and like every year when I get the emails, like, here's how much you've contributed to Road to Recovery because of your Amazon purchases. It's actually kind of cool. Totally like passive thing.
I didn't know you could do
That's
that.
awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, there was a couple of years where I was trying to find some cool motorcycle charities, and all of a sudden one year I realized Road to Recovery was on there, and I got kind of excited because I was like, I actually know which one this one is.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there.
Welcome, guys, to Couchcross. Not officially sponsored by Goldfish yet.
Yeah, if you guys, where are the races? Can you talk about Barsha? Barsha looked really good in his heat race so far. See if he can keep it up.
Webb tracked him down at the end of the race, though.
Yeah, I like Barsha. Barsha did. You were right though. Barsha did take an interesting line through those whoops though. So he kind of he would blitz it and then kind of let off right towards the end, right as he was getting to the inside, and it looked like it was kind of the best of both worlds there.
He waited till the last few laps, though, when there was ruts built up. I think what's going to happen, in the first 5 laps of the main, you're not going to be able to do that.
I was wondering about how easy it would be on whoops that are shaped like that to kind of slow down at the end of them, so that you could kind of blitz through the first part and do that. Because I've never ridden through a set of whoops in my life, but I have no idea about how easy it is to kind of like slow down when you're in the middle of blitzing ones, especially ones that those aren't really tall, but they look fairly wide, I guess, compared to like the top to top on them.
I don't think the whoops are the issue. I think it's that turn afterwards.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like the turn afterwards, but to slow down for the turn, and I just didn't know if it's easy to slow down in whoops like that.
A couple of times, right? Like you just it looked like you just let off the throttle there, rolled his way through like the last two whoops there, and then just cut around the inside. But he was blitzing up to that point, so
yeah.
You could really see how big the whoops were when those little kids were just going through. They're like 15 to 18 feet peak to peak.
Yeah, there's not a diaper big enough for me to ride across those.
Here we go.
Hey guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Alan, by the way, the races are in Indy. Not sure if you're still on here or not, but this is the third round in Indianapolis. The 6th round total for the season.
I'm so glad this is they're done with Indy after this.
Yeah, me too.
I just have not. I mean, tonight doesn't seem too bad, but the last 2 tracks for me were just not good. Oh. Where they going next?
Oh.
I have air blast.
I think that overview picture is really kind of cool, how it shows the way the start lane narrows and kind of kicks back in, that it's especially from the outside gate. So like those guys that have the I guess the inside on that corner, the inside gates on this one are just not the best place to be at all.
No, definitely not. But look at that though. Why would you put the whoop section right there? There's 3-4 other straights that you have set up where you could have switched, made that like a rhythm section or a sand section or something. Like that just seems to me like a crappy spot to put those. Wait, isn't that right?
Definitely an interesting spot. So I think the question for me that I always wonder is like, what when you think of like whoops at a Supercross, like how would you rate them on how necessary a whoop section is to a Supercross track?
Not. I don't know. Like, so Jesse and I actually talked about this back when I was on the podcast. I despise whoop sections. I really do. Like, I think it's just they're dumb. I mean, I see why they're there, and I get it. And I think if you put them in the right spot and don't make them overly large, they're fine. But if you took the whoops out of a Supercross event, for me personally, as a fan watching, wouldn't notice and wouldn't care.
Yeah, I think the fact that they're stuck on having to have them at all traditionally 16 of the rounds minus Daytona maybe is kind of like I don't know if you guys can put stand sections in and out. I think you can also do the same with whoops. Like they don't have to be there every night.
Much rather have a sand section.
I'd rather have 2 over/under tabletops instead of a whoop section some nights.
But I think tabletops make rhythm sections really interesting because they usually offer a couple of different ways to tackle that rhythm section instead of like,
Whoa!
Whoa, where's that boy going?
Did you see that too? I was like, oh man, somebody's gonna die.
That's what I thought.
Geisler's been getting some TV time this year. They've been talking about him a lot.
Wow. Holy. That's the dude that just cut across everybody. Who is that?
I think that was Slosher. Wasn't it? On the Yamaha?
Yeah, it's a Yamaha. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy.
I can't not see and say his name without thinking of the way that Lee Diffie says it.
Yeah, it's the same guy. 193. Schlosser.
Ben likes the whoops, so I get it.
Yeah, that's Slosher.
They're definitely a trademark. I'll give you that. I'd be okay if they weren't there. Well, like we were saying, the tabletops usually offer a few different ways to tackle a rhythm section. Instead of like normal jumps where it's like you have to triple and double through this, tabletops are like, well, you can jump up on top of this or you can use it as a jump. Like there's usually a few different ways to take it. It's more interesting to me.
Oh, yeah. They were having a funny conversation today in Race Day Live about the semantics of like whether or not a tabletop actually counts as like a double in a section where like does it make it a triple or a quad when there's a tabletop in there? And they were having a funny little conversation. That's something I always wondered. It's like, well, why is a tabletop necessarily a double? Like I get it that maybe there's 2 smalls, like small jumps could be a double technically, but like so they're really not that big.
It's interesting. Yeah, how would you classify a tabletop?
Normally they classify them as doubles, so like if you jump over a tabletop in there, it would count as 2. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I've always counted them as doubles.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, where we go?
That was crazy. Can you imagine like how many of those mechanics just unloaded in their pants?
So apparently I am completely outvoted as far as the whoop section goes. I know Taylor's on my side, but
yeah, I'm on your side. I would rather them take like 3 more rounds, eliminate the whoop section sometimes, so that when they're back, they can be like, tonight's a proper whoops night. We're putting in a real whoop section. That's that.
So you're not saying remove them completely, just limit how much you use them.
Yeah. I think they need them over the course of the season, but I think it's totally fine that they take 3 more tracks other than Daytona and just take them out some nights. Like,
see, Daytona is my favorite track, and it's because of the speed that Daytona typically has.
yeah, that's why I'm excited for Atlanta this year. I can't wait to see that. We get like so with Daytona, we're gonna have 4 of those tracks this year. Atlanta's got some more like Supercross style obstacles in it, and that's gonna be pretty sweet.
Man, that was a heads up.
It's not right.
Totally agree with you, Ben, by the way.
That 450 race is going to be
on the
serious.
tabletops.
Oh yeah, total game changer. Yeah, especially just seeing the way Shimoda just tackled that line to make those passes in his heat. He just jumped on him, used them to rocket past instead of spending time in the air.
Yeah, Shimoda hit that. That was an awesome line he took. I think we're going to see that in all the mains.
Like, my whole complaint with Supercross isn't necessarily like the obstacles. is that when you're there, you can't read any of the number plates on the bikes.
Yeah, that can be a problem.
They're so shiny and they have everything so packed in that you just can't.
Unless you know your rider, you can't. It's hard to understand.
Coda's got a good point here. I think to give Malcolm a win, just make the whole track whoops.
Wouldn't have worked at Indy too, but
yeah, that's true. He would have killed somebody with his bike a few times if they had done that.
It's amazing.
Holy cow!
Was at Indy too. He could have saved that top 10 finish, but he sat there having a pouty face in his helmet.
Man, she just flew by Geisler on that. It's crazy.
Tomac is typically great at whoops.
Yes.
It's usually one of his strengths, like against most riders except for maybe like Loxton. Whoops is typically where he gains his time.
Malcolm.
That's funny. I would have never thought wouldn't have put that as one of his like real strengths. He's definitely not bad at them, but I just would have never said. Not that I'm right. I just Tomac and whoops like never was a big.
He just commit
thing for me.
It's the commitment. Like, once he's in, he's in.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just because he is just solid good at him. I never really thought that, like, oh man, he's the master of the whoops.
No, if he's got a gain on somebody coming into the whoops, he will gain on somebody going into the whoops. He's a bulldozer, man.
Do you remember the Daytona whoop section that he took where he was just like he blitzed those whoops so fast, his front tire didn't even touch. Like he wheelied all the way through the whoops, and it was just absolutely were flying.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty good illustration.
What year was that?
This is a good illustration of why Tomac is good at the whoops. He's willing to get sketchy. That is a very good illustration. Coda, are you going to do any racing this year, man? Oh, LCQs. How many seconds ahead do you think Brayton's going to finish?
Like 11.
What do you guys think?
They're shorter races, maybe 7.
How many second lead do you think Brayton's going to have in the LCQ?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it's only 2 or 3. Like, why push it?
Because if you go down in the LCQ, your night's over, and he wants to make sure if he goes down, he can get back up. I mean, I could be wrong, but that would be.
No, I mean that's a totally valid argument. But the reason I was thinking the other way is like why that maybe he's. If it were me, I would think I'm not gonna push any harder than I absolutely have to. Like if I think I'm comfortable just staying in front of a guy and can keep his pace and stay 2 seconds from him the whole time, I'm just gonna push as little as possible because I don't want to accidentally make a mistake by pushing hard.
Ben says 4 seconds. I'm gonna go with 5 or 6 seconds.
I think it's more of instead of him having almost an hour in between races, he's only getting 15 minutes or something like that, and then a 30-minute break. So I think the energy conservation is what you're really going to see. So I have to probably agree with Benjamin, keep it a comfy 4, like sprint the first couple laps and then hang out, like Tiller did, but you don't want to burn.
Nobody asked you.
No, that's a good point, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Just the energy conservation. That's a good point.
He's going to have to turn around and get – well, I mean, he's got the 250 in between, but still, yeah, you're right. The turnaround is way shorter, so.
Yeah, what is that, like a max 40, 45 minutes with the time after and before? Yeah.
Yeah, 15 minutes, 2 laps, plus they usually give another 10 warm-up lap. 20. I would say about a half hour, 35 minutes between, right?
Yeah.
But that at the start. So yeah, you're right. Probably about 45. That's still a quick turnaround.
Yeah, because they clean the whole track before the 450 main.
I think it would be funny though. You just blitzed everybody and just won by 15 seconds in an LCQ.
It'd be his greatest win ever. At least in the United States. I mean,
he's
throws
going to have Chiz in there too. Chiz isn't going to let him totally walk away. I mean, Chiz isn't going to beat him if he doesn't have to either.
Yeah.
At that point, second to last gate pick and last gate pick aren't that big of a deal.
That's
So, question from a non-motocross guy: when they redo this track before the 450, I'm talking the main. When they come out of those whoops and it's flat and it's good, how many laps until the line changes? And I think the difference will be who adjusts better.
With this track and the way the dirt's moving, it's like 2 to 3 laps.
You're going to run it different rather than the last, 5 to 10 laps.
Right.
Well, those guys, they're going to beat the crap out of that inside line. So
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if it starts moving up a little bit. Too.
Yeah.
You can't move up too far, though, because then you're
arcing way out.
So, I mean.
Where's Mom at?
She's watching Blacklist. She doesn't understand why
She what?
She doesn't understand when she's here.
She's supposed to come watch the race.
She's watching Blacklist.
This is more entertaining than the race. Keep it going.
Here. Ready?
I told her when she came down, she would come down.
On camera.
Do a highlight on Doug.
What?
Nothing to worry about.
Where? It's at Indy.
4 to 5 laps, you're going to see the ruts get deep.
Yeah, for sure.
Ben says.
I think definitely by 5 laps that inside rut is going to be developed enough to there's going to be a rut there. That's pretty obvious. I think the question is how many other outside ruts are they going to develop? Is it just going to be 2?
I don't know.
It's a good question. It depends on how many people try going outside early.
Ooh, Brayton gets caught.
Uh-oh. He's fine. He's going to pass these dudes in like a lap.
I mean, this isn't. I mean, for an LCQ, this isn't an easy LCQ either. You got, Intignap's an LCQ, guy. He's got possibility in there. Cade's in there. Starling, is Starling in there? Yeah. Chiz is in there. The Cat, Hart Tramps. A-Ray's out 6, so you don't have to worry about him tonight. Rod Bell's just not been holding it up this year, so he's not so much of a Supercross guy, it seems.
Ooh, Clayson's up there.
That the guy in first place right now, Joan, I think that's how you say his first name. He's from Spain. He's been pretty good for as far as LCQ action. I don't think he's made it in too many mains, but
Coda said Prime Villapoto on an XR70 versus your average Joe C-Class rider on a 250. Where's your money?
Prime Villapoto on an XR70.
Yep, versus your average Joe on a 250.
Supercross track?
Depends on where your average Joe on a 250 in C class is from. Because the C class here in Ohio is like B class. So if that's the case, just displacement alone, I'm taking the 250.
Right.
If it's a Supercross track, I'm saying 250, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Villapoto was good, but I don't know if he's good enough to take an XR70 around a track like this.
Doug, whatever happened with that mini race? Wasn't Villapoto going to be in that one?
The Pit Fight Club Pit
Yeah.
Bikers? Yeah, he was in it, I think.
I missed that. What happened with that?
I don't remember how the results turned out, but he didn't win. He got beat. I'm pretty sure. There was actually I didn't realize until I checked out the results. There was a local rider here that the shop I worked at we used to sponsor, and I hadn't heard from the kid in a while. And then I looked at some of the photos from that event, and I saw a kid with a mullet and just like giant eyebrows in there. I was like, holy cow, he looks so familiar. And I looked it up, and it's this kid we used to sponsor all the time. He still got the same mullet, same like giant unibrow, and he's just rocking pit bike races all the time.
Coda gave us some more details. He said motocross Minnesota.
I don't know. I still think I'm taking a 250.
Yeah, the XR70 was that's the real handicap. It's just too hard. You gave him like a built 110, maybe. That's a different story. XR70 is just oof.
Yeah, when you're just talking about flat out just speed overall, like I said, displacement is key there. You know, it just.
Clayson's putting up a fight here, man. That was a sketchy rhythm by both of them.
Yeah, Cade was moving around a little bit, wasn't
he? He's doing pretty well here, though. Oh, how much did he commit?
And
he gets the inside. Well,
double.
Dude, they're really struggling to figure out that turn. Like everybody.
I think the one person I'm not worried about in that turn is Cooper. After watching him just fly across those two ruts to cut Kenny off the other night.
That's true.
Ooh.
There it is. Okay.
Which one of the yellow bikes makes it in?
The bigger car.
Oh, Baby R110. Okay, now we're talking.
Yeah, then I think, all right, maybe we're talking Villapoto might still take them.
Yeah, because then Villapoto's just got to get a wheel in one time, and he's just prime Villapoto is going to just rough him.
Everybody in the comments, if you're watching this on YouTube, Facebook, what do you guys think about Ryan Villapoto on a prime Villapoto BBR on a BBR 110 on a motocross track in Minnesota against an average Joe C rider on a 250? Who do you think wins? Let us know in the comments.
Which one's more likely to just not care and just knock the other guy out, a C-class rider or prime Villapoto?
Prime Villapoto.
That's what I'm thinking. If Villapoto can just get a big wheel 110 and just stuff a wheel in on a guy, all he's got to do is take him out one time.
You just send it. See you later.
I like the top four in this LCQ, but if both of those HEP bikes could make it in, that would be so cool.
Man, Hornrath's gonna be the odd man out here.
I don't think he made it to the main in the Indy 2 either. Did Hornrath make the main in Indy 2? I don't think
he only got one main this year.
It's not feeling the 450s, huh?
Well, he's on a yellow bike, so
also true.
Well, yeah, so he's on a yellow bike. This is his first year in 450s, and look at the field.
Yeah.
How long before Suzuki just stops putting bikes in Supercross?
I mean, they have.
Yeah,
this isn't Suzuki putting bikes in Supercross. This is Suzuki being like, okay, thank you for putting our bikes in Supercross.
Right.
Yeah, no. All right, that's fair.
We'll see. I mean, they're doing that whole corporate restructuring thing, though. Let's see how that turns out over the next couple of years. Maybe they'll actually start putting together, bikes for the riders to use.
Oh, no, Hart Afton was in the last two mains. I forgot about that.
He was?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he just missed this one, so
time to go get a beer.
I really like him in interviews. He's an awesome interviewer.
I think his interviews have gotten a lot better. I really thought it'd be I guess especially during Supercross last year, his 250 stuff. I get it, he's still young. And I have a hard time not being too critical against these young guys, but he didn't seem confident enough or something in his delivery. Like it seemed like he wanted it, but I was just really unsure. And in the way he seemed more at least confident in himself this year and like, yeah, I'm getting it. I'm figuring it out. Like I want to do this. I'm really impressed with this year over last year already.
Yeah, when I listen to him talk, I just think of he's just a good old boy.
Oh, for sure.
Like you're expecting him to turn around and like take a swig of a beer before he's finishes the rest of the interview.
A la Brett Favre style.
Yeah.
Chicken wings, beer.
Yeah.
Show up on Sunday, throw a few touchdowns, go home, have a few more chicken wings.
I'm just slanging it. Brett, are you really gonna wear those Levi's out on the field? Yeah, I am.
They make my butt look good, boys.
Oh, what'd Coda say? If you had to combine two riders to make the best of all time, who are you choosing?
Stewart's speed and Carmichael's consistency.
Yeah.
Name any other combination of riders that beats that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. End of conversation.
Boom, done.
I was going to say somebody in Dungey's consistency.
Ooh.
I mean, Ricky kind of had it all, so it's tough to not include him if you're trying to combine two to make the best rider ever. And I think James Stewart is the fastest rider ever, so that was my logical combination. But
I can't argue with your combination. My head was starting to go towards the I don't know. What's the best way to put it? Like the difference between saying, I guess the argument now of the kind of seeming parity in the class about all their like fitness levels and everything like that, and everyone's saying like, can we really say that back then those top guys were they like on they were clearly the top, but they were doing things that the rest of the field wasn't doing as far as training, and so now it's like you will never know. But I was always kind of curious if maybe somebody, any of those other guys, how many of them, if they were on Ricky's program, could have been at least the slightest bit closer. And was his consistency more of like seemingly consistency because he was just that good and nobody else was close?
I mean, it's a good point. It's definitely a good point. And Dungey has to be one of the most consistent riders ever, right? Like, so you're definitely not wrong there.
Yeah.
All right, fine. I'll take a Stewart speed with Dungey's consistency as the best rider ever. I'll absolutely take that.
Ben says Stewart speed with Wyndham style.
Oh,
I like it.
Wyndham style, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if I could pick. I don't know if I could pick Stewart. Like, I think, yeah, he's got speed, but like, I would be worried that it's theoretical, obviously. Like, if you could really just pull the speed out of Stewart, but worried that like his craziness would still get stuck in there somehow, and like you really could never just say like just Stewart's speed.
Well,
Maybe Stewart's like I don't give a care like attitude. Maybe that's like something where like give say take Carmichael and Stewart in the sense of like I want Carmichael, but I want him to not care like Stewart could. So like Carmichael could take whatever crazy speed he did have and say like whatever held him back on some days maybe from doing something crazy. If he could just have not care like Stewart did, how many more like crazy wall jumps or something could Stewart be doing or Carmichael be doing?
You're right, though, because that's where Stewart – I mean, the big thing is that's where Stewart's speed came from, was that just constant riding, towing that line between reckless and fast. And you can't really get his speed without risking that recklessness. But I think that's what made him such an incredible rider is more often than not he was able to tow that line.
Oh, yeah, he got lucky, yeah. Yeah.
Here's one. I'm going to say McGrath with the sobriety of any other rider.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
They've got him in a suit here, and he still looks drunk.
Yeah.
It's hard not to look at him and think of all those other like videos and photos we've seen him in.
Right. I mean, I think McGrath, you were saying McGrath in a later generation with like the training regimen and the coaching and nutrition and physical regimen of some of these guys now, I mean,
Yeah.
is he even better than he was at Supercross at that point?
We'll take away J-Law's sobriety. So not McGrath with J-Law's sobriety.
I don't know. Just to the original point, I don't think if you're going to ask me to combine any two riders' qualities to make like the single greatest ever, I'd leave out Carmichael before I left out Stewart.
Huh.
Not that Stewart was better. I still think Carmichael's, he's the GOAT. You can't really argue that at this point. I mean, you could, but you'd be dumb.
Yeah.
But we're doing like Stewart's style, man. It's so electric. It's so hard to get it. Like that speed was just unstoppable when he was on and he was on that line. Just, I'd rather have Stewart than Carmichael in any combination in that case. Marathon and Hannah, says your dad.
Interesting. I mean, I've only watched highlights of Hannah, so Marathon. I'm to be totally honest, I'm not even sure who that is. You guys have any idea who that is?
McGrath. Oh, we said McGrath. And
McGrath. Who's up? Oh, McGrath.
McGrath and Hannah.
McGrath and Hannah.
Interesting. I don't hate it.
And
Rich says Stewart and McGrath. Nice.
McGrath and Hannah would be a crazy rider. It'd be an absolutely insane rider.
You're right. Coda said Stewart and Antonio. I don't know how you say it. Cairoli. Yeah. Which I think at that point you're just stacking speed on speed though, and you just get reckless at that point. Ricky Johnson and Villapoto. I like that one. I like that one a lot. I mean, I'm still taking Stewart, but
Doug, when's GNCC start? I don't know.
I don't think they can hear us. These
Oh no, I think he's trying.
Hello?
Is everything frozen right now? No? Tiller, can you hear us?
I can hear you guys for sure.
All right,
yeah, cool. I think Doug's having some issues. It's all right.
I guess I could just look up when GNCC starts. That is something. That's something I want to do a little bit more of, and a little bit of
2 weeks.
2
Doug
weeks.
says. All right, so he can hear us. We can't hear him.
Doug, I want to do some stuff with GNCC. We should talk about that. I've only watched that one broadcast of GNCC last season. That Doug sent me
I would love to go to some of the ones in around here this year. Go check them out. Oh, I need to go. I need to look up the details and figure out. I want to go check out that. I think I saw you posted it on the Facebook page where they're doing the Moto Car Fight Club where Dungey and Carmichael. Yeah, that's like 30, 45 minutes down the road from me. I'd love to go see that. Just in case they end up right into each other. That'd be hilarious.
That'd be hilarious. If you go see that, take some video and post it on the Facebook page.
Oh, definitely.
Rich says Unadilla GNC BYOB. Your dad says Dilla Boys. Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
Is it working now?
Yeah, we got you.
Welcome back.
I heard a guy that sounds like Doug.
It was something got hung up where it must have muted and then it
when you unmuted me, it still showed that I was on air but muted.
Weird.
Yeah. So.
Who's this?
Oh, that's John Force's daughter.
Oh yeah. That's a pretty sweet name, Brittany Force.
What? Ben says, "What about Bungie and DeCoster?" That's another good one.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, putting a little bit of DeCoster in anybody is not a bad mix.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The amount of,
Steve
the amount
and
of
I are
things-
trying to keep it family friendly right now.
The amount of things that could have just happened.
Tracks.
Oh, man.
Oh man.
They did not do him any favors putting those lines like right in between his ears to like really accentuate how big his ears already are.
Oh, you guys got to be talking about Carmichael.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? This is way more fun than having to listen to. Like we have the TV pretty much all the way down, and not having heard Carmichael's voice all night.
Yeah, it's actually made it more entertaining for us to watch the races.
Call
We
it dangly earring boys.
Yeah, but you can hear the voice. You can't really hear what he's saying, which is the annoying part.
Right.
You know, it's going to be interesting to see.
Right.
Where's my pick? My pick'ems.
I'll print mine out.
Oh yeah, when did you guys do your pick'ems, guys? Did you end up getting stuck with Moseman in your top 5 for 250? I know Doug and I did.
I
did.
I caught you guys talking about it before I did mine.
Oh, thanks for the heads up. I did my pickups here on this couch. You didn't even tell me.
I did mine after you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like I saw Doug posted a screenshot of his RM list, and I was like, "Crap!" I was thinking about it this morning. I was like, "I got to make sure I got to do all 3 of them and set him up." And he put his up, and I'd forgotten about to do it. I did that, and I went to go do both pick'ems, and I popped Moseman in there, and then 5 minutes later, I see on Instagram he's out with this mysterious broken hand.
Oh, there goes at least a point for me. Hey,
what's up?
The good thing, Steve, is that I did it too, and that was my biggest worry. Was it if you had picked them after that news came out? So
I could have used it. I really could have used that to catch up. Top 8 are real close in points right now.
let's see. Yeah, I mean, the rest of my top 5 is still pretty much what the 250 top 5s have been this entire season. So,
yeah.
Yeah, it was Christian, Colt, Shimoda, Moseman, and Oldenburg. I don't even think I put Jet in my top 5 tonight.
I actually thought about leaving him out because of the injury, but I'm kind of glad I didn't.
So then who did you leave out?
If I had left Moseman out, I would have put Oldenburg in. I got Nichols, Craig, Lawrence, Moseman, Shimoda.
Can you read that?
No. Maybe.
Oh, white stuff.
Nichols, Lawrence, Craig, Moseman, and Shimoda, so real close to Steve.
Yeah.
I was.
Oh,
I didn't know Jet was racing tonight, so I didn't have him on here.
Damn.
250s,
Didn't they say he wasn't going to race?
I never heard he wasn't gonna.
I thought that's what they said days ago.
Posted it on Thursday night because when we were talking about it you guys were talking about it during the pod, and I thought I saw like 30 minutes previous whenever the pod was going on that they said he wasn't racing this weekend.
Yeah, I thought I remembered hearing that somewhere too, probably 2 days ago. So it was probably around the same time.
I did see something going around on Motocross Action, I think it was, or one of those other smaller ones where it made it sound like he wasn't racing tonight, but the article was actually about Tuesday night's main.
Oh. Weird.
Because that threw me off too, because I just finished my pick'ems and then I jumped over to Facebook and I saw that and I was like, no. And then Tiller messaged that Moseman was out and I was like, I'm super screwed tonight. It turned out that I read the article and it was about the last race's main.
Gotcha.
It was just a super clickbaity title.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. I thought I saw an Instagram post.
Yeah, I thought I saw a video of Jet actually talking and saying that it wasn't worth like the risk or something.
Yeah,
like
he was saying that.
He might have said that about Tuesday.
About Tuesday, yeah.
So I've got, for my 250s, I've got Nichols in first, Craig in second, Shimoda in third, Oldenburg in fourth, and Grant Harlan in fifth. Obviously, I don't.
What you do, just go down the results page for Indy 2.
Yeah, basically. And then for 450, I got Webb, Tomac, Roxon. Change it up, Ferrandis in fourth and Barcia in fifth.
And this is why Jesse is in the middle of the pack on Pick'em.
Yep.
I think so. My 450s, I got Tomac, Webb, Roxon, Barcia, Cianciarulo.
See, I have Roxon, Tomac, Webb, Barcia, Cianciarulo.
Wow, we are like pretty damn close.
Rich says
250s were close too, right?
We'll bring this back up again. Rich says, seems like Lawrence was playing it up a little in qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about that earlier. I think that's what it kind of looked like. He just kind of took it a little bit easy.
I do not disagree with Coda's comment. That's
this one.
The orange and white. I'm not wearing my glasses. So what about Enduro?
Oh, gotcha. It's weird to hear the media talk about people manhandling the bike. They must have never watched Extreme Enduro.
Yeah, I mean, really any, not even just Extreme, but any like IMSE or IMDE or whatever. The
ISDE.
Yeah, ISDE. All those guys, man. It's insane the bike control that they have. Look at Shimoda. Shimoda.
See how much he has to lock up at the end of that, though? And then this. Just boom. That's such a good line. He just needed to not land on tough blocks. It was good right up until the end.
It's good. Right up until
that was super aggressive for Shimoda.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Super aggressive.
Out of left field. I think that's pretty. It's been pretty well. No, he worked his way through the pack a couple of times, so
yeah,
he's been aggressive when he's really needed to.
Yeah, but not like
that. Overly, right? Not overly aggressive. That worked
the track hard.
Yeah,
that was aggressive for him. Because usually he passes everyone by out consistency. Like his consistency is insane. Like you could probably put dimes on the track and he could hit every one of them going around.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like a samurai.
Yeah, the samurai.
Probably wasn't the smartest thing to say, but
whatever. I can't wait for them to take masks off.
could see Will's face again.
Yes.
I agree.
Dude, so
I've got a crush on Will. A crazy crush on Will.
You really do.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think Will's really good looking. She's an awesome reporter, but like, you have like a serious crush.
Seriously. Like, speaking of,
I'd be
like,
worried if you didn't.
yeah, I agree. Like, as far as like crushes on reporters, like, it goes Will, and then like April from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then everybody else after that.
The redheadness from April.
Yeah.
Shabota's trying to prove he belongs from his handed podium. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Like, he's still mad that he got a third, like, by default, so he's gonna like really push to try to prove that he belongs on the podium.
Look at all these fallen riders. It's just a graveyard.
Seriously, a lot of these riders just need to be considering themselves lucky they're making it out of Indy because it's been terrible.
I really would have put money before the season that we would have lost this many 450 riders by now and not 250 riders.
Right. Yeah, you'd think it'd be the other way around.
I will be surprised if Forkner is on PC next year.
Oh, yeah. I put money he's not.
Dude, that was right in front of me. That was disgusting at the track.
Yeah, that looks.
It made my stomach hurt.
Yeah. Oh. Not happy that Max Volan's not in it anymore.
No, but
Doing so good.
he doesn't look too bad. You know, he's another one. He raced with Max coming up through a lot of the amateur stuff.
I'm sorry, who'd you say? Who was it that you were talking about?
Lou Havey.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he doesn't have like Roger DeCoster, Mike Brown.
Wait, how did he make it into the main? Did he make it out of the LCQ?
Who?
Lou Hovey?
He did, apparently. He's in the last gate right now.
See, he didn't change.
I really thought he didn't make it out of the LCQ.
I don't remember the LCQ. Here we go. And
There they are.
Oldenburg.
Oh, I can't believe I didn't pick Nichols for first of the finish line. I totally forgot to do that.
Oldenburg is a great starter.
What was that?
Maybe you can hold my. Maybe Oldenburg.
Oh!
Oh! Is the bike good? He seems good.
Unless he did, the bike didn't take that big of a bend, but maybe he did something with the clutch lever or something. Or yeah, clutch lever.
If the bike, if he looked like he was fine getting up. Let's see if the bike is good.
Hopefully that's not a massive heart rate spike and just blows him up.
Yeah. Well,
These riders really have no consideration for my top five.
Oh, it looks like he got the front wheel just got in a rut and just
Oh,
twisted.
yeah, it did.
Oh yeah, he crossed.
He got crossed up.
I'm glad he landed on the tabletop and not into it.
right.
Yeah,
That could have been nasty.
Yeah, that was like
he
a
was able to roll.
for him.
Really was. He's like,
Why are you shaking your head?
Because you just said the exact same thing you did.
I'm just quicker than
He
Ricky.
gets
I can't
paid
help
for
it.
I'm just quick.
Just quicker than.
What was the points? The points difference between Nichols and Craig going in? Was it like 11?
No, I think it was bigger than that.
yeah, because Craig had that dust up with Jet. That put him
Yeah,
down.
got like fifth.
Yeah, he dropped a lot of points in that one. Oh, it says it right now. As they run right now.
Wait. As they run right now is minus. Craig is -9.
It was 11 going into this race.
Okay. No, Nichols is 9-8 behind
Oh.
as they run right now. Yeah. He's got some catching up to do. I mean, it's plenty of time. If you're going to go down early.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see him
And he
winning.
can make up 8 positions.
I could see him getting back up towards the podium.
Oh, definitely. I think so.
Him keeping the points lead tonight is totally feasible with this field.
Coda says the stream is about 30 seconds faster on YouTube than it is on Facebook. Good to know, Coda. Thanks for letting us know, man.
Yeah, I noticed that before. My brother was watching on Facebook and I was on YouTube, and it was like that. Just kind of testing everything.
Has the damage. Make the best of his worst night.
Right. I mean, he was on his way to what would be 4th straight at that point?
Yeah. Well, he's up to 14.
He would have been the first 4 straight guy since Josh Hill or Justin Hill, one of the Hills.
They must have said it a bunch of times and jinxed it on him. Those jackasses.
Yeah.
That's what they did with the 5 straight or 5 different winners in 450. They kept talking about it, and Kenny was like, "Let me show you something."
I mean, if they had that much power, then Barsha wouldn't have won round 1 because all we got to hear about is they're going to be 3 straight round 1 wins.
No, they talked that one into existence.
Shimoda. Get that podium. You think he could? No, Nichols went down and didn't earn this one.
Watch how hard Nichols is riding, though. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him wash out on one of the flat turns.
Huh. I hope Shimoda passes Oldenburg.
How crazy do you think some of these 250 guys are that are like maybe 9 to 15, or well, I guess 7 to 10 now, about being aggressive about not letting him by? Do you think any of them are going to pull a Barsha and be like, nope, you got to earn it, or just be like, okay, I'm going to let the points leader get by me?
I don't know.
I wonder if going wide in that turn is the move. Shimoda just carried so much speed.
Yeah, it worked. It worked really well for that.
There it is.
Section,
there it is.
For sure.
Got him.
Got him. He's earning this one, that's for sure. Wow. He looks really good.
Yeah.
Where's Jet?
Craig's. I mean, I know Shimoda's been held up, but like Craig's kind of out there.
I mean, Craig's not slow.
No, he's not. He's certainly not.
But, I think if Shimoda got by Oldenburg earlier, it might be less of a gap. I mean, there's.
Oh, for sure.
Shimoda's got a good pace.
It'll be interesting to see if Shimoda goes wide after the whoops and really squares up that that rhythm section to get a run, and if he can close in the time. I don't think I'll be surprised to see him on top of the segment time list going through that section.
Oh, definitely not, especially if it includes that rest of that next rhythm lane with the tables.
Oh, yeah.
Nice pass.
Yeah.
Nichols is in 8. So he's got to be right up on the points now.
Yeah, or close to it. Yeah, there you go.
Series needed, though. Because them just finishing 1, 2, 3, 4 all the time was getting kind of boring.
Yeah. Agreed.
So did Shimoda earn this one since Nichols crashed out?
Well, he's sitting on the podium if Nichols didn't crash out, so he definitely earned it. And he made the pass into second on his own, so.
I mean, Shimoda earned the last one, too. You got to be in 4th place for 2nd and 3rd to crash for you to get up there anyway.
Exactly. That's why I was. It wasn't. That's why I was upset about it, because like racing isn't just like, well, I was second best in a drag race. Like this isn't. There's so much more to what puts you in second place in a Supercross race than just your speed.
I think he knows that. I actually like the mentality though, where he's not. I'm not satisfied with being handed a podium. I want to be satisfied with going out and getting a podium, and I think there is a slight distinction there. You know, yes, part of racing is just staying up. We've talked about that plenty of times, but I don't know. I think I like that mentality because clearly he took that to heart because he came out tonight and he's on fire tonight.
I respect it more than anything Austin Fortner's ever said. But I think when I heard him say that, the first thing that came to my mind was I was worried that maybe he was just going to beat himself up too much as a younger kid, and that was going to put him in a bad spot, and like give him something that he just never felt like he was going to be able to, like a goal he was never going to be able to achieve if he had that kind of attitude about like why he was on the podium.
Right. Right.
But I don't think he's probably one of those fragile little butterflies.
No, it looks like it fired him up. Also, Lawrence and Nichols are now in the top 5 already. Like,
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how a points leader keeps the red plate.
Yeah.
So Colt is starting to do that Shimoda line. He's doing the old Joe line through that after the whoops.
A few of them have done that, I've noticed.
And they're starting to really kick it wide.
Joe line.
Man, if I had kept Mosmanoff and picked Oldenburg, I know Nichols isn't going to win, but Craig is the winner tonight.
If I had known about Mosman before I submitted my picks, I would have picked Oldenburg.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I would have nailed this top 5, man.
I
just can't believe you guys picked Lawrence for the main.
Well, we didn't. We read the clickbaity title, so we knew he was racing.
Well, I knew he was racing. I watched him win the qualifier. I just still didn't think I just didn't think he was going to have it in him to.
I put him down lower than I usually do, just for that reason. I didn't know how good he was going to be, but I still think, on his not best night, he's still worthy of a top 5.
I think I was worried that his injury was going to make him ride weird and he was going to make another mistake.
Right now that he saw it was Nichols knocking on his door, he don't feel that shoulder.
Yeah, no. You see it turn back up just a little bit right there?
They're going to catch Oldenburg.
That is now a non-issue.
His shoulder's like, hey, I'm not hurting anymore. Kick it.
Yeah.
You're right. As soon as Nichols flashed that tire, he was like, see you later.
There we go. That's the Joe line.
Wow, yeah, you carry so much momentum.
Being able to just rock it off that tabletop.
Yep. Did you guys see that? See him just clip that bump on the side?
Yeah.
That could be a heartbreaker if they don't flatten that out or smooth it off.
I've seen a couple of riders use it on purpose already.
Yeah. I think it was either Nichols or Craig used it in the heat.
Yeah. Yeah, they're going to catch Oldenburg for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Even if you don't take the outside after the whoops, up on top of that tabletop is absolutely the fast food line. Every time.
Watching Nichols get on top of that tabletop now is kind of making me realize how crazy it is that Shimoda's so fast on it, because Shimoda's a smaller guy, and even on the 250, it's amazing that he's able to really load the bike to get that kind of power off of it like he did in that heat race. I don't know if the guy he passed was just going so slow, but it seemed like he just rocketed off that tabletop way faster than they're going now.
No, he did. I think you're right.
Oh, Jet. Oh, I love that where he just looks at him. He's like, I know what I'm doing.
Oh my God.
I love this guy so much. He's just like, hey, what you doing?
That was totally a Barsha move where he's just like, nah, man, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm just not going to let you go.
That was amazing.
Oh my God, he gapped him now too.
Yeah. No, he's just got fired up. Oh, wow.
Well, he did. Well, that, and it just messed up Nichols. Nichols just didn't do the rest of that next section right.
Yeah, he screwed up completely.
It's too bad Supercross isn't on ESPN because you would have heard dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Yeah.
Ben says, brake check.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, Jet's got so much personality, man. Like, I love that combination of
Look at this.
obvious talent and just like.
Oh, Fleming could almost really mess that up too.
He was like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
And that really messed Colt up for the next 2 or 3 sections too.
Totally did. Yeah, it's just yet another reason why he's got to be one of my favorite riders right now.
I don't want to bag on Ralph anymore, but this is one of those scenarios where Ralph and his red bikes would have just thrown it off.
Here it is.
Dude,
Coming back.
that's not playing any games.
Oh,
Oh,
wow. Just like I want them points.
Oh, that was really close to those tough blocks.
Yep, they're only 2 seconds off of Oldenburg now. Oh, less than that now.
There's Oldenburg right there.
Yeah.
That means Oldenburg's got to be slowing down pretty good because if they've got time to play with each other like that and catch Oldenburg,
I think they're pushing each other faster.
They're running faster than Craig because they.
Oh, Oldenburg's last lap was a 52. He's going almost a second and a half, 2 seconds slower than they are.
They're both running faster right now.
But if you watch him towards the last part of any race, his fitness isn't where the rest of the top 5 is.
I think they were going to catch him either way.
That's fair.
They're flying.
I'm honestly surprised Jet hasn't switched over to the Joe line yet, to be honest with you.
Well, he's had Nichols behind him the whole time. I'm not sure he knows that it's faster. He had to take it that time. Well, he didn't take the line.
They all did.
Yeah, but he's still singled into it.
Yeah.
They all signaled into that one, though, because they all were slowed down. This is a battle. Oh, my God. There it is.
Get out of the way, Oldenburg.
Oh, I thought he was going to throw a block pass and Nichols was going to sneak under.
Oh! He did.
That's what I'm hoping. Oldenburg holds up Nichols a little bit.
Man. They're messing with Nichols.
I mean, it's less than a minute left and you're fighting for a top 5.
Yeah.
That red plate don't mean nothing.
I just want to see Nichols on the podium after that.
Points leader.
There he goes. He got the line.
I don't know if he's close enough to Jet now, though.
No.
I don't think
it is.
2.5 seconds, probably not, unless Jet makes a mistake. But
yeah,
I'd rather see Nichols on the podium than watch Jet either bark like a dog or cry.
I know. I love it, man. Jet, it's always an entertaining interview, regardless.
Oh, he's an entertaining interview, and I'm glad that we have somebody like that. But I just remember that first night he did that. I remember telling somebody, I just don't know if I can watch him bark like a dog on the podium for 10 more years.
Well, he's not going to be 17 forever, so I'm not sure you're going to have to do that.
I hope so.
I don't think the AMA will let him run in an actual sanctioned race, Coda. I think you have to have a 4-stroke for Supercross.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Is it just outdoors where you can run 2-stroke?
Yeah, I think he runs outdoors.
Oh, was it Shorty? Shorty was running a 350.
Wow,
a few years ago.
Dude, what?
Wait, did Nichols just? Oh yes.
Yeah, Nichols got him.
Did Lawrence screw up?
Oh,
Stop it! Stop it!
He got in his head. Nichols flashed him that dangly earring and just said, "Watch this."
Coda, there's a guy in the 250s that shows up to most of the outdoors that rides a 2-stroke, and he typically makes it into the show. He's towards the back, but there's definitely a guy that runs I think it's a KTM 2-stroke.
All right.
Yeah. Go, Joe! Woo!
Yes.
So I think I got.
Oh my God!
I got 4 points.
Lawrence screwed me. Yeah, me too. If Lawrence had stayed in 4th at least, I would have gotten an extra point there because I put him in 4th.
So, let me explain the points, how the points work with pick'ems, because I guess there's some confusion with how they work. If you put your top 5, and if your position matches exactly, it's worth 2 points. But if the position is anywhere in the top 5s but not in the exact spot, it's 1 point. Does that make sense?
I mean, it makes sense to me.
Right, but you and I developed this.
Yeah, right. Basically, if the rider you picked is in the top 5, you get a point for that rider. If the rider is in that exact spot, you get an extra point.
Right.
I only ended up with 4 points then because I had the top 5 minus Jet.
Same here.
I had the top 5 minus Moseman, so. And none of them were in the right spot because if Nichols didn't go down, I probably had an extra 2 points there.
Colt, Craig, Shimoda, Oldenburg.
Dick.
Craig.
You better get off that couch, dog.
Yeah, get off that couch, dog.
Oh, crap. I'm scared. Let me move.
I wasn't looking at the stream when he said that, and I thought he was like talking to a person because like calling somebody dog, and then I look and there's actually a dog on his couch.
Get over here, clown.
All right, Eli can save my knights, right? My points. Eli, save my points.
Eli ain't gonna win this race. Get out of here with that.
Wait, yeah. So what's your 450 top 5?
Mine?
Mine is Tomac, Webb, Roxon, Barsha, Cianciarulo.
Barsha, man.
He looked pretty good. He looked pretty good in those heats.
No, yeah, no, I said that because like that's just one of when I looked at my top 5, I was like, crap, I probably could have. But then I looked at my top 5 and I was like, well, but then I would have take somebody out. Oh man, that's where I'm stuck on Marv, man. Like I just want to believe in him so much. One week he's gonna stop biting me in all of my fantasy games and pay off.
Marv was in my top 5 for the first 4 weeks of the season because I wanted so hard to believe he was going to come back. And finally, last Tuesday was the first race. I was like, screw it. I'm not putting him in my top 5, and I haven't since. Until he finishes in the top 5 again, I'm leaving him out.
That's probably the smartest thing to do. Like, just absolutely can't argue that that's not the smartest thing to do. But I just can't. I'm like,
I want it so badly to just come back and be the Marv he was before he got hurt.
Coda.
I want Marv calling outdoors to pull in Supercross.
The most underrated rider this year in 250s or 450s or all together, Coda.
Underrated riders, huh?
Most underrated rider.
Because if it's 450s, I'm going with AP. Everyone wrote him off, man, and he's out there making moves.
I'd agree with that.
Some people are still bagging on him.
Yeah, I'm with you.
250s, I would definitely have to say Shimoda. They talked about him possibly being a top 5 rider, but I don't think he's finished outside of the top 5 yet.
I think for a factory guy, Shimoda, he was probably the factory rider with the biggest doubt. Doubt for his potential.
Did that finish just put Shimoda on the podium?
He was second.
Maybe.
No, the podium for points overall. I think he was only 1 point down from the podium.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one off of Moseman. So if Moseman didn't race, Shimoda's on the – because he was far enough ahead of Lawrence. Shimoda's in the top 3 for the championship now, yeah.
All right.
He's guaranteeing himself a ride next year.
That's awesome.
He is.
Because he only had that this year with that tryout. He only got a 1-year deal with PC, right?
Let's be honest. The reason
Look at them two sitting there.
Aw.
That's cute.
I mean,
Just tell him about his favorite donut.
Yeah, it's a Hot Pocket.
I think the reason Shimoda's as underrated as he is because of Jet Lawrence. He got all of the rookie hype coming into this, like all of it.
Oh, and on the team last year, he just outshined him. Everybody's like, nobody talked about the rest of the team. It was Jet.
I mean, Shimoda he wasn't even signed until like the last second, it seemed like.
Yeah, doing that, he did the tryout at the last minute.
Yeah.
He can join Jet on the Hot Pocket Honda team next year.
No. It's not a Hot Pocket.
It's not a Hot Pocket. It's protein.
Protein.
I don't know enough about the. I mean, I know the guys on the Honda team are all experienced and stuff like that, but they don't. Maybe it's just because they don't talk about the Honda team enough. But I think a team like PC and Mitch more specifically is good for Joe.
Yeah. See, Maxwell Holland, I don't think is underrated because I've watched him since he was racing like 50 cc's. So, and that's in regards to Coda's comment that just popped up now. But just watching him grow up over the years, you can definitely see the big jump having like Mike Brown and DeCoster and who's that crazy fitness guy from like Sweden or whatever.
Oh, Alden?
Yeah, and Alden, you can tell like they got a hold of him and really molded him. But that kid's always been fast, man. I can't mark him down as an underrated rider.
I think if anybody underrated him this year, it was because what you guys talked about did you guys talk about it on Thursday about him coming out of his performance at Minios? Yeah. I think if anything, everybody was like, oh, we'll see how he does at Minios. They go to Minios and he doesn't win everything. And everybody's like, well, they wasted that one. And you guys talked about it. It's like, I don't think that they went in there expecting to win. They probably used it as a testing ground. That was a really good point you guys made.
Ever, man. But it's go Joe.
Yeah, that was a great interview.
Yeah, you got to get him something other than Fox, man. Ugh, gross.
Number 3 spot.
Hell yeah, good for him, man.
Dude, that's a big jump too.
Yep, and he's with cushion too.
Let's see, an underrated 450 guy for me, other than AP.
I would probably
me personally, based on the not hate, but I guess how much hype I wasn't giving, or how much respect I wasn't giving them. I really had low hopes for Svacci, and he is totally. I think as far as anybody in my expectations, I think he's by far outdoing my expectations the most of anybody in the 450 class.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty critical about that pickup too, and I think he's picked up the slack pretty good.
Sean, I would agree with you that it was a mature ride for Jet right up until Colt got by him.
Yeah, and then he just lost his cool again.
I don't know. I'd be interested to hear what happened going over that jump. I was looking at it, but I really wasn't paying. It just caught me off guard. It didn't look like he really did anything wrong. It just looked like something happened. And when he went off. Oh, of course they're interviewing the fourth place guy again.
That's what Brandon said. You still didn't hear from Jet.
Interviews. Like, I could understand on Tuesday because he was crying on the side of the track, and they were like, hey, let's go get Jet crying. Like, say something with your little snivelly voice.
You guys are way too hard on this kid, man. He's 17 years old. Goddamn.
He's a golden boy, man.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. If it was anybody other than Jet, they don't give a shit if you got 4th place.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't blame them on the marketing opportunity. It's like, yeah, let's get the guy on TV as much as possible.
Yeah,
but
they know.
Also, at the same time, like, if they're going to do it, I'm going to hate on them just as much. Like, I'm sorry.
Jet, Nichols and Craig get that same treatment, though, if this is them. I mean,
I don't agree.
No, I respectfully disagree. They would have never, maybe Craig a little bit. If Craig was crying off the track, they would have probably put him on camera, but other than that, they don't.
Maybe.
Absolutely.
Oh, he came up short.
When Jet and Craig got together last week, they didn't interview Craig. They just interviewed him, so I don't necessarily.
Yeah, they did. I watched it because Craig was trying to describe what happened.
See, I was at the track, so I didn't watch the interviews, but I saw him interview Jet because it was the only thing the announcers said all night that you could actually hear because they turned the audio up.
There was one night where they said that Craig just walked off the track immediately after and wasn't even available for interviews if they wanted to.
They just showed that shot right there of the line, and Barsha was turned the other way. He was looking at the stands, and I was like, why is that chick putting her leg over Barsh's bike.
Oh. Not cool.
Brandon said Barsh should do hair commercials. Do like the Troy Patrick Mahomes ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. Let's get some outside the sport, man. Bring some ladies in. Have Barsha do some hair care commercials.
Hell yeah.
some Head and Shoulders. That's what it was, right? The Paul
the Head and Shoulders commercials.
Head, shoulders.
Tiller, I hear that song constantly in my house. I could repeat it.
Well, it's funny. I was just on in a voice chat group with some friends earlier today, and I don't remember what we were talking about, but all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there were like 6 of us singing that song.
Rich, what was the jab that Will just gave? I missed it.
We were talking through the entire interview, so I didn't hear what she said.
I love it when Will gives jabs, so.
Bam hair care.
There's quite a lag here, so.
Yeah.
What?
No. Wait, no way she said that.
What?
If she said that, she's a boss.
She is a boss.
She is a boss. So,
but dude, I gotta watch this back. I'm looking for that when I watch this back.
That's another dun-na-na.
Yeah, seriously.
You gotta do the pause with the glasses that come over her face to deal with it. Oh!
Crappy part about Peacock is you can't rewind it to go back and like listen to it.
Right.
You gotta wait until it's all over to go back. So now I'm stuck here staring at the 450 main event gate drop ticker instead of going back and rewatching some of the highlights from the previous race. I mean, with the cereal stuff, yeah, I could see maybe, but being the closest, I don't think so, because you got Hep that brought in Twisted Tea that's never been here before. You had Reed that brought in CBD MD, and then Feld took it from him, and they've never been in the sport. So I don't know, like, out of the sport sponsorships, I don't know if I could agree that he's the closest. But
well, I would say with that's your examples. The way I hear it is that we're bringing in outside sponsors, but how much are those sponsors also like using our guys in their normal marketing? Like the cereal thing was like, here's a Supercross guy on our thing to where everybody else can see it. Like, are the CBD MD guys being like advertising in their normal realm, being like, hey, we advertise, or like, you know, we get used by a super gnarly Supercross racer, Chad Reed.
Kind
of thing.
Champ of the world.
I mean, I was pretty young at the time, but didn't McGrath had some outside the sport sponsorships that he was a part of?
I think back then they were all in like some pretty random sponsorships with like some of their sponsors sometimes in like magazine ads and stuff.
Yeah, I just feel like I remember McGrath being one of the few that kind of like broke outside of like the traditional sports sponsorships and got a little bit more mainstream with it.
Dudley was on the ESPN.
Yeah, but I think unless you were in the sport, you knew McGrath more from like the Krusty's videos that you would see like at the different shops and stuff. Like that's the only, when I was growing up, that was really the only way that I really knew about McGrath was from his PlayStation
games.
Yeah, and the videos of him just going out and slaying like Akatia Wells and whatnot.
Right.
Like I'm
just trying to think. I feel like there was one. Sean, no worries about being late, buddy. Thanks for joining. You didn't miss that much.
Bring it back up here. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see this, but I've got the coolest coffee table ever. It's got this top that goes down.
I have one of those that I use for the kids' toy box in the living room.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. It is awesome.
What are we doing for the Super Bowl tomorrow?
I have no idea.
Just hanging out here.
I don't care. Go out. I don't really feel like doing that either.
No. Like, I just kind of want to just watch it and see what happens. Like, I'm not interested in like this big to do. I'll bring you some of these tomorrow.
Go for it, dude. Sean says, I like this track a lot. I think there are a few different lines through the rhythms. Yeah, there's.
This is the best of the Indy tracks.
Yes.
I'm certainly not disappointed with this track at all.
No, I think this is a, again, with the exception of the turn coming out of the whoops, because they've taken the whoops.
Yeah, but you know what? I think Doug ended up being right. As much as that seems like it sucks, it's created really interesting racing.
Yeah.
Having to make those different decisions on how to tackle that. I don't know. I might actually have to agree that I like it.
I think you're going to end up seeing guys like Webb, who's going to suck on the bottom and do that single, versus guys like maybe Tomac and maybe Roxon that you're going to see really go wide on that and then do the double into that rhythm.
Hashtag suck on the bottom.
Make the biggest difference.
See, I don't know, but I thought Houston's tracks were fine compared to Indy. Like before tonight, Indy they were the two worst tracks that I had watched for me. Tonight,
opposite. I felt like Houston. I was watching the Kicker Arena Cross, man. Those tracks were absolutely horrible for me, and whoever designed them should have been fired.
They were kind of lame.
And then
I think it was hard having the progression of the Houston 3 tracks like side by side, where you have, the traditional like easier first round Supercross track, and then it, over the course of the week it tried to progress, but it was all still kind of the same track because they couldn't change the layout. So I think that created a kind of a weird feel where like we were trying to make a relative comparison to where like normally, it's a completely different layout and track from week to week. So trying to do that progression of like easier to mid while not really changing the layout made it kind of hard for them too. But I personally like the Indy tracks better than the Houston tracks.
Yeah.
My vote is again. Screw me.
And I'm pissed at the sand section in Houston.
All right, fair.
Brandon says Daniel Blair probably designed the Houston tracks thinking it was Arena Cross.
Possibly. I mean, that's what it really felt like to me. And I had just left like the week before. I was up at the Ohio Arena Cross Series, and it felt like the same track, only on TV. Like, I don't know. But Indy, I watched all the broadcasts through like 2 times speed. So I didn't really like, I got to see them up close, and it did make a big difference,
There's something to be said, I think, for seeing a track in person. Because I know that every year when I go to Atlanta and I watch the broadcast back, it's just not, even though I was there, it just doesn't look and feel like the same track that I sat and watched.
They look so flat on the TV.
Yeah, there's definitely something to be said for like really appreciating, like not that we don't understand like or really appreciate the size of the jumps and stuff, but being able to see that and see the action on that field of view versus like the field of view we get to look at it definitely changes the way a track feels and the action feels.
I can agree with that. I've only been to one Supercross race, is the New Jersey one. We went down to New Jersey, and that was the thing that struck me the most was how high the guys were actually jumping.
Oh yeah,
You don't get the sense of scale.
Yeah, I can't recommend more anymore. If you get to go to a Supercross, try to find the lowest level you can reasonably pay for and like think you'll be able to enjoy not being able to see the whole track from a high view, because the closer you get to where you can see the action on this level, it just really changes your appreciation and just view of what's happening out there.
Oh yeah, Indy won with that big blind double over the start chute. Like when I went back and watched it on the TV, it looked small, like they were barely jumping, and then you get there and it's like a freestyle motocross show. Like, that was a huge jump.
Oh yeah, especially where you were sitting. I'm sure that was crazy to watch.
Oh yeah,
to like see them come up to either where you were sitting or higher.
Oh, they were going higher than me. I was basically, if you're looking across right now, I was only 17 rows up from the bottom. So they were jumping higher than me for sure.
Yeah, that giant double was nuts. I still can't get over seeing some of those photos of the way the ruts developed on the front side of it, where like almost none of them were straight. They were all going one way or the other, and just how scary that had to have been by the time the end of the 450 main, where you're just kind of like, well, just gonna go for it. Hope everything works out.
50-yard line, 30 rows up. Sounds pretty solid seat.
Brandon, when you go to Detroit this year, if you take some pictures, make sure you tag us.
Yeah, I'd say like 30 yards up is probably a good place to sit. I know where I normally get my seats at in Atlanta when they were in the domes. That sounds about the height I would normally go, but I would always meticulously just hope and pray that they hadn't messed up the. Obviously when they're doing the track map, they don't have to get the rest of the stadium picture very accurate in their 3D model. But I'm just like doing as much as I can to hope and pray that I got the orientation right to where my seat's in the exact part of the track I want to be watching.
Right, there's no Detroit.
I always try to go towards the sections, man.
I'm sorry.
Which sections?
I didn't mean to dangle that in front of your face, Brandon. I'm sorry.
You just crushed Brandon's night, man.
I forgot there's no
Detroit. Hey, you go to the one this year? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Jesse gets A-holes a night award.
Who gets the whole shot, boys?
I'm scared, but I'm gonna say Barsha. If I was forced to put money on it right now, I'd say Barsha.
Brayton.
He's got 2 more practices.
He's been pretty good on his starts, actually. Brayton's.
Nah. Well, probably Barsha or Roxon.
Oh! Where's my money?
Oh! He got it because he freaking bam-bammed his way out there.
I don't like the Bam Bam nickname anymore. Okay, well, stop that.
Yeah.
That wasn't that Bam Bam.
On the friggin' start.
He didn't take him out of the line. Kenny's still on the track.
Dirty. I just don't say you don't want the nickname when you do things that got you the nickname.
I don't know if that was like a thing that would have gotten the nickname though. If Kenny would have ended off the track, I would have been like, "That's a Bam Bam out for sure."
He drove right into Cianciarulo.
He drove right into Cianciarulo.
Yeah, he like T-boned Cianciarulo.
Cianciarulo was his berm, like that. He used Cianciarulo to make the turn.
And Cianciarulo looks pissed right now.
Yeah, he does.
And that's
he's still
all
on
I can
2 wheels.
think of is Tomac. Have you even passed anybody clean this year?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Last year?
That video will last forever. That was like 2 grown men just like having the most childish like argument back and forth.
No, me this year? Have I passed anybody this year?
Yeah. And Eli's face the whole time was so goofy. He's just like, oh man, whatever.
I mean, that's kind of Eli's face all the time. He just has that like look.
He does.
Dude, Roxon is in an absolute groove the past few years. Actually,
wait, did they even show Roxon getting around Barsha?
Yeah, it was right after the whole shot. He went right to the front.
Yeah, right when Barsha was punting Cianciarulo, Roxon just walked by.
Punting Cianciarulo.
We are all engrossed right now.
Yeah. It's getting really quiet.
Barsha really hasn't done bad this year. I'm kind of surprised.
He did have like a 13th the other day, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he has been, he got back up into
That was a Bam Bam move.
Oh! Yeah.
And the worst part is if
Yo.
he does that and you meet up with him in the pits afterwards, like he's the kind of guy that'll call the cops. Like he just seems like that kind of.
Don't do that, I'll sue you.
Barsha almost risked it going up that finish line jump. He could have got sideways and like kept it. If he would have stayed on the gas too much, he might have ended off the track like Jet did.
He threw Roxon off right here, though.
Yeah.
Roxon's like, what is going on right now?
At this point, that's like, Barsha knows that that's all he's got to do, though, for Roxon is like, I don't really have to, like, do anything crazy, but if I can just get in there and mess with him.
That's one thing. I mean, I've been pretty consistent with Roxon. When he's doing what he wants to do, he's one of the fastest riders on the track. When you get in his head or you screw him up or knock him out of his groove once, it takes him forever to get it back.
Yeah, but then, I don't know, maybe this year that's not going to mess with him as much, with this whole new mellow Roxon, where he's like trying to stay calm and chill, that maybe that's something where he's finally able to kind of like not let that get to him, where he's just like, I know what Barsha's going to do, I can't let it mess with me.
Did you guys just hear Ricky where he was like, yeah, Barsha was going to turn and just didn't anticipate the 94 coming down?
Oh my God.
The 94 that was already through.
We're not watching the same race, homie. Like, get out of here with that trash.
Ricky has been dead wrong so many times with these calls on like what's happening on the track. Like, I don't know what he's looking at most of the time.
Yeah, like that was a straight up Bam Bam move.
The only way to get to Roxon at that point was to cut straight across the turn and hit him as he was coming down. What do you mean he didn't anticipate him coming down?
Yeah, that would have been the same thing as what was it? It was like, was it the Fortner and Hampshire crash? Where we were like, oh no, Hampshire did, or Fortner didn't expect Hampshire to turn in right there. No,
he had no other.
What he was doing.
Yeah. Like, didn't even attempt to turn. Like, just
this is the battle I want to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, these two are fun to watch.
This is going to end up being a decent battle, I think.
I think Tomac is trying really hard to get up to the front because he doesn't want Roxon to get away.
Oh, for sure. They both are.
Well, yeah, definitely, but I just... All right, fine.
No, just saying, like, I think that's what's going to make this battle. The fact is that they both do. So, but Tomac or Webb, obviously we all know that they ride differently when they got somebody behind them that they don't want to pass them. But if they're both wanting to just catch up, that's got to be Tomac doesn't care, right? Because he's just going to go as fast as he can. But Webb's like, well, do I ride defensively or do I just go, like, see, maybe I could go as fast as Tomac and we both just catch up?
I think that's what's happening right now because they got Barsha, like, right in their midst right now.
I think the weird thing is Cooper seems to be faster when he gets passed, especially by Tomac.
Oh, like, he turns into a hornet.
It lights that fire, and he's like, let's go. So if Tomac passes them, they probably both go to the front. I mean,
when you put the 1 and 2 together, they push each other so hard.
Awesome to watch.
Angry like a hornet.
They're definitely catching Barsha right now. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's probably because Barsha's front wheel's bent from going in a...
He might have lost a spoke or two. Tomac's bike looks to stay a little bit more level through those whoops than Cooper does.
He does seem to have trouble with that
suspension, too.
He hasn't quite figured it out yet.
Yeah. Yeah, they gotta get past Barsha like pretty quick here.
I was excited that Webb actually mentioned the air shock multiple times today during Race Day Live, during qualifying and everything.
You would, you orange bike guy.
Well, no, I'm glad that he mentioned that it was a thing that they were like kind of struggling with. I don't know if he used the word struggling, but that he was like, yeah, we're finally getting somewhere with it, because we all knew that it was something that they were all working on,
After
Nobody
5
ever mentioned. Nobody ever said outright, yes, we are actually struggling with the air shock.
Yeah.
5 years to actually say something about it.
Well,
Yeah, it was like we've all known about it for 5 rounds now. And then finally today, he was like, "Yeah, that air shock. We finally figured something out with it, and we're having a good day."
that and it's hard to judge a KTM in the whoops on Webb because he keeps his suspension so stiff for like the corners that he gives up so much in the whoops as far as bike handling. So it's kind of like I don't know if I would use him to kind of judge the air shock through the or the air force or whatever it is through the whoops, you know.
Yeah. I wish they would say how long they'd actually been testing it before the season.
Forever.
Yeah, they've been working on them for
Since they came out.
a few years now. That's why he keeps them so stiff because they
No, the shock this year. This was into this season was supposedly a new rear air shock that they were all trying on all the white bikes and the orange bikes.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
it's front and rear?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that.
Interesting. I didn't.
Yeah,
know
that
that
was a big thing that they right at the first round this year. Somebody, I think it was, I don't know who broke it first. I remember I saw it first on Swapmoto that it was a big thing. They were like, "Oh, look, we just noticed on like all the orange and white bikes that they've got an air shock on there," and it was nobody knew about it. And so that was the big talk. Was that why Osborne and Webb are struggling these first couple of rounds? Is because they got this new air shock on that nobody's talking about.
Interesting.
Mookie.
Bring in Chad Reed and Jeff Emig. We don't need Ricky. I agree with Chad Reed for sure.
Look at Coda. Coda's chatting on YouTube and Facebook.
What? How was that possible?
Overachiever.
Dude, no, so I didn't mind. Was it Lee Diffie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lee was okay.
Lee was pretty good. So you get Lee and Chad Reed in there, and you still got Daniel Blair and Will down on the sides. I think that's your team right there.
I agree. I think that would be.
the way I understood their press release is they were moving Ricky back down on the floor and bringing in Todd and Lee. And I was kind of excited about that, so I didn't have to hear Ricky say that somebody's not headhunting somebody else in the corners.
Yeah, they definitely didn't make it clear that they were going to alternate out Lee and Todd.
No, they certainly did not make that clear.
No.
I really like having Lee in there. When he did those first couple at the beginning of last year, I was really not impressed with his commentating skills, but I've never heard him do Supercross, obviously. I've heard him do plenty of other motorsports, and I enjoy him. I just like his general, regardless of the dumb things Ralph would say, I just like Lee's general composure and the way he speaks better.
100%.
This is everything's
He kept correcting Ricky on live TV, which made me happy. Every time he corrected Ricky, I got a little chub.
No, I think you put Lee and Todd is fine. I think if they somehow got Chad up in there with Lee, I'd be okay with that because I thought Chad was awesome. A few times he guessed it up in the booth.
I'd love it, but oh man, can you imagine how many people would be like, "What is this Australian Supercross? I can't hear what they're saying."
No, he does pretty well. He speaks pretty well though. Like,
oh, they do. No, it's just like everybody.
They should just give Villa a cooler of White Claws and let him go up there.
It'd be nothing but like, I would have quadded that. What is he doing?
All four of them.
Yeah, they are definitely catching up here.
Malcolm Stewart passed Cianciarulo, and he is now screwing up my top five. I told you, he's going to have absolutely no concern for my top five.
None whatsoever.
Disrespect. Jerks. I'm about to give up on Cianciarulo too, because
Cianciarulo's struggling.
He's been rough this year.
Yeah, it's been not good.
I could really see him passing Mookie though.
Mookie just passed him. That's how he got down into sixth.
Yeah, but I could see him getting him back. Well, not now. Now he's 2 seconds down.
Yeah.
They're all running 45 or 49 to 49.5 lap times. The top three are.
Yeah, they're all right there. Roxon was not able to get away. He's just a little
Holy
bit.
cow!
Lap.
Tomac put in a 48.5 2 laps ago. A whole full second faster.
Jeez.
Kenny's last lap was over 50.
Coda did call Mookie.
He did call Mookie.
Yeah.
Oh, although Mooskin's coming up now too. So,
Well, Santarulo is doing his going backwards thing now.
yeah.
Well, I wonder how bad his injuries still are.
Going slower. That's the question. I'm just happy Moose Quinn has kept it on 2 wheels.
Shit, don't jinx it. There's still time.
I don't want to jinx it, but yeah, there's still time.
He'll probably tip over going to the truck.
He probably, if I were him, I'd do it on purpose just to get out of the way so it doesn't happen next week.
All right, it's really tightening up here in the top right now.
Barsha just will not let.
Is he slowing down or are they going faster?
It looks like he's slowing down.
They just start hitting more lappers though.
Because
His 2 last lap times are slower.
Yeah, and Stewart's cutting into it too, so it's not just.
I think it's lappers. I think Roxon started hitting these lappers though because he just passed Chisholm. He passed Bloss before that.
Yeah, his last 2 laps are relatively slower than the 3 behind him.
And apparently, we already know Roxon doesn't understand the concept of getting around a back marker. So.
Yeah, we figured that one out. That did not make me any friends.
Apparently, he didn't realize you have to still go around them. They don't just get out of your way for you.
Yeah. You mean they don't just teleport to the side of the track?
Right. Like, let me just – they ghost out like a video game so you can just drive through them.
Yeah, right.
I'm honestly surprised nobody's really taken that outside line after the whoops.
Maybe they're waiting for it to deteriorate a little more on the inside.
Well, it looks like they're all just taking the same line through the loops.
I think they're all so close together, they're trying to keep the inside.
Barsh messed up. Yes.
Oh.
Coop.
Oh, there's that braking bump.
Coops. And then he looked back and saw him. He was like, take that, sucker.
That's the end of the burn of the turn. That's not even a jump. That's the burn.
That was weird.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Tomac better get on the gas like right.
Yeah.
Oh, Barsha took a different line, and Barsha did. Well, they both took different
There goes
lines.
Tomac.
There he goes. That was.
Barsha said, "Nah."
Oh, don't you dare! Oh, he's. Oh.
Tomac coming a mile away.
Yeah, he knew who he was in front of.
Ricky's lack of color in his color commentary drives me bananas. It's like he knew who was behind him there. He let him go. It's like just Ricky's like Taylor Swift, best enjoyed on mute.
Dude, I tell you, we haven't really had to listen to him. We just turned the TV down, and this has been great. It's so nice. I can hear him a little better now than before. Honestly, I kind of liked it better when Barsha just was hanging out in like the bottom 10, like around 10th. To be honest, I think this would be a more interesting race.
I used to like Bam Bam. He has unfanned me in the last couple of years, though. Like this year and last year.
I was gonna say last year at the beginning of the year, you were all over him.
I know. There was like that exchange between him and Tomac. That totally turned me off to being like a Bam Bam fan. I was like, I don't want anything to do with this guy anymore.
Yeah, I'm kind of over him just being there. Hey, Moon's getting past Stewart. Of course, I don't put him on my top 5, and guess what?
Yep.
He's in the top 5.
There's still time left, Steve. There's still time left.
I think this is
Oh
my
yeah, no, you're right.
He's cutting into
Webb, Roxon, Tomac. Oh no, Cian Cirillo. I'd see a Cirillo instead of Barsha.
Yeah.
He's good. Mooskin's
I had
got
Cian
time. He
Cirillo instead of Mooskin.
Watch.
So my brother texted me about the Bam Bam Roxon thing, and he says I think he did it because he knew that was his only chance. Wreck him for the checkers. No other reason I can think of. I can't believe what I just saw. And it feels like that's what he did too. Like,
It definitely does.
I don't know. I think Bam Bam, of all people, if he really wanted to wreck him, he would have wrecked him.
It looked like he was trying though. That's the thing.
I don't know how much less you can try.
Right.
Like,
No, that's what I'm saying. I think Bam Bam would have done it. It just, to me, it looked like he was Bam Bam just being like, no, I'm gonna show you my front wheel and like gonna, see something. Obviously, he didn't get a pass off, but like, I think if he was really gonna take out Roxon, he would have taken out Roxon.
I'm gonna shove this front wheel somewhere.
Coop's making a push right now.
Yeah, he is.
yeah. I don't know if Coop's going to catch him or not.
Oh
It's
man,
close.
he's right there.
It's close. He got held up by that lapper again.
49-7.
I really hope this happens again.
Yeah.
I really kind of hope that a lapper holds up Roxon and Webb wins again, just to see Roxon's reaction again.
Webb hasn't done a lap in over 50 seconds in the last 5 laps, and Ken's had 2 laps ago.
That might not be right, sir. They might throw the checker early. You never know.
Oh my god.
What?
Oh!
Barsha.
Yo, can we just Barsha, come on, dude.
That means
Wow, we gotta see what happens. They made it 2 jumps.
I bet you it's Barsha's fault.
It looks like he hit that. No, that guy pulled it out. What happened?
Freezy pushed Barsha out, and Tomac just happened to run into him.
Oh.
Look at that, man! I don't want to hate on Vince, but that's Vince causing 2 bike accidents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Last time it was his bike. This time he caused somebody else's bike to get landed on.
Yeah.
Freeze was the one that held up Roxon coming around to the finish line jump too.
He's also the one that threw his bike into oncoming traffic in Houston.
Oh man, are we gonna get another down and dirty video out of the last lap?
Well, let's see. We're in the last lap, and we're seeing other rounds right now.
Replay right now.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
The last,
It's the end of the race. It's the final lap.
bro.
Jesus. I don't even know what I'm doing, and I could do better broadcasting than these guys.
It's not that hard. It's
Cooper's faster through the first 2 sections.
He is pushing.
I swear, if
We
he
can just
gets
screw up
him,
on top hard again.
Kenny's just fucking freaking out.
Kenny's wondering where Wilson is.
Ah! Oh, I just killed the Indy residency.
Oh yeah,
That was a
torches, boys. Hey, 73% chance that he's your champ, dude.
73%.
Yeah, I sent you the link. I sent it to you and Tiller, I think. You remember when we were talking on the podcast, and I said I'm pretty sure the first one to win 3 Supercross events is your champ.
Oh yeah.
You sent the link to that?
Yeah, it's a 73% chance that the first person that wins 3 events wins the championship.
Wow, that's a pretty good percentage.
Yeah.
I remember hearing it before that it was pretty high, but I couldn't remember what it was. So I think the only thing now is, Kenny's the biggest reason anybody doubted Kenny this season is because of his health. So I think that, that's the only thing kind of lowering his chances of being a thing. But I think with the way the schedule's working out, we go 2 races on normal, and then they get effectively 2 weeks off. If he can do this run and then he gets that kind of break before another, the final push, I don't know. But then again, his health is nobody knows what's going on with it, so anything could happen. But
he should. But the thing is, so he's looked good all season. I mean, he probably could have won the first race of the season, just didn't. It looked like he was timid about making passes for the first couple of weeks, but he was fast. He was up in the top 3 to 5. And then suddenly he's just started winning, and he's just in a groove. Yeah, we all did.
Yeah. Anybody else feel this sentiment here?
I did get 4 points out of the 450, so I finished with an 8-point week, which is not great, but not terrible, I guess.
I still finished with 4 points in the 450 because Adam moved back in. I've got Marvin, Webb, and Roxon.
I had
Malcolm instead of Eli.
Points total.
Damn.
I got 6 points total this week.
I
4. I had Roxon winning. I think I had Webb in second.
Oh yeah, I had Roxon. No, I had Roxon second. Never mind. I didn't get Roxon winning. So
I got Webb second, which gave me the extra point. So that's 4.
Oh no, I had Webb in third. So I had Roxon, Tomac, Webb, Barsha, Cianciarillo. So
you still only get 4 points.
It was a rough week for everybody.
Wait, where'd Cianciarillo finish?
5th.
He finished 5th?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got 5 points. I got
you got 2.
2 for Roxon and Webb. So I got 9 total.
Oh, extending your lead.
I can't remember the guy's name that's in front of us, but he's been walking away kind of.
Is it
pretty good?
I can't remember who it was either. I can go on the website and check it out. Is it Curtis?
I think so.
Yeah, Curtis Johnson. Wonder how he did. I'll do the points up tomorrow.
Hopefully he got like 7 or 8 points. Hopefully. Because then I would have closed the gap, I think.
I was up there for a little while, but this week kind of.
Steve, me and you have been tied for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's been impressive.
Great minds think alike, buddy.
Right?
And we're not that far off the lead, right?
No, we were only like 1 point.
Yeah. I mean, depending on how we did, it would not agree. Well, you only got me by 1 point this week, though, because you said you got 9.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I counted them right.
They've got Barsha as 19th on the results.
Yeah, no, he was saying, so Tomac got up, but it looked like Barsha stayed down for a while.
Yeah, Barsha didn't look like he was feeling good.
No, he was definitely hurt.
Yeah, he flew right into the face of a jump, so.
I hope it's not too bad, man.
He was holding his leg groin area, and I didn't pay attention enough to see if how the bike hit him.
Well, it looked like he bounced off at first. So he got bucked in his seat. So if he was holding his groin area, the seat probably popped up and nailed him in the nuts.
Yeah. I don't know. He's kind of a shitbird, but he's entertaining to watch. So
you can't say that he doesn't bring excitement to the series.
Yeah, he definitely shakes things up, that's for sure.
I want to hear what Roxon has to say about that. You can't even see his Red Bull can. Just looks like he's holding his hand weird.
Take the strong hand.
Which trophy was that he knocked over? Is that a third place?
Did he just say reggae vibes and flying high in the same sentence?
He did.
Team Pride, bro. Woo!
Woo!
Yeah, he's been spending time with Anderson.
on the boat.
Now, Kenny's always been like pretty obviously into the reggae stuff. I've seen that stuff quite a bit on there. Where he's always, not always, but he's quite a bit had some like Bob Marley songs and everything in there.
Oh yeah,
he's big on that surf and just chill vibe.
Oh, there goes Barsha's season, pretty much.
That was a great race, a fantastic day for you.
I still think he's gonna finish in the top 10 in points though.
Telling us early how comfortable you were. Did you take it all the way through the men? Because you look great out there.
Yeah, obviously it was a great day. Stepped in the right direction, a lot of good qualifying times, and just came up short on the main event. It was a hard charge, and so close, but so far. Ken rode great and adjusted to the race as it went. I felt like I charged hard at the end. I got around bam bam and really put my head down and got close. Just not enough. I missed the rhythm or two to go, and I felt like
ears
kind of killed it for me.
I don't think they've given him is that hat? The hat he was wearing during qualifying when he got on the top of both of those sessions was like the bill was messed up. It was so annoying seeing his hat messed up. It's like, guys, I know you have a stack of those things in the truck somewhere. Like, give him another hat.
I just can't get past the fact that he tucks his ears.
It drives me nuts. Like, who tucks their ears into their hats? Stop that.
Well, you got a tiny little head, and you can just like stick them in there.
Yeah, it's because his head's too small for all the hats they make.
Get a kid size.
I don't know. It's better than like Ricky putting a hat on and your ear sticking out like Dumbo.
I mean, at least he wears the hat right.
16 points.
Over Cooper Webb with Eli Tomac now 24 points back.
That's I mean, obviously 11 rounds left. That's not that much, but that's something.
It's a sizable lead for
3 straight wins will do that to you, especially when
the top 3 are still within 1 race of each other, so that's good.
Yeah.
Marv, we missed you, buddy.
Finally, the night I couldn't pick him on fantasy, he shows up on the podium. So tired of him.
Stay on 2 wheels and relocation the last 2.
At least he's honest.
It's been super frustrating.
And next week he's going to be an all-star in pulp, so he's not going to do me any good.
Ended up
that gear is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is.
To come back. So tonight
I don't hate it, but it's got a lot going on.
I like it better than the green Thor gear.
But after that,
the old avocado.
I passed Adam and passed
the radioactive avocado. Yeah.
I was the best 5th guy tonight, but it's racing, and the 2 guys in front of me went.
Brother says that Cooper Webb looks like a Lego with his
podium. But yeah, like I said, 5th place was my
He does. He's a little stocky little guy, isn't he?
It's good to have you back out there, Mark. Congratulations.
The moment of the race. What is it?
All right, thank you very much, Will. As we take a look at tonight's flyer race, moment of the race, and wow, look at this!
Wow,
Justin Barsha collecting on the back of Vince.
Doesn't look like anything hit him in that area. He was just maybe he was just sitting there like holding or his hip, maybe.
Back onto the track, and Daniel.
Yeah, I think when he came off and the bike rotated under him, it probably put a lot of pressure on his hip and his knee.
Oh, they never interview
he landed on his hip.
the podium.
You stop talking, Steve.
They never interview anybody who finishes off the podium.
Well, I want to see a trend now.
Anybody who finishes off the podium, right, Doug?
I've never really seen it.
This is the first time. They've never. I can't say they've never, with certainty, but
It's usually somebody who's in contention for the championship. If they have a bad night, they'll interview them if they don't finish on the podium. I don't know why they're doing Stewart tonight, but they've definitely done it before.
Yeah.
But for both classes?
Yes.
I never watched the interview press conference.
I don't normally everything runs so long that, especially when it's on broadcast TV, they're like, we got to do our 3 and get off because we got something special coming on next and they don't have time for it.
Next Saturday night when
He won it Jet was the first time I've seen it.
From Orlando, Florida, live on NBC.
Did they do it at Indy too?
7:30 Eastern.
At Indy too? Yeah, they did it for Jet.
I'm not saying they do
Not
it.
the 450 guy.
They do it.
Midnight a lot. Indianapolis.
They've done it.
Coda says, I wonder when the last time Cooper blew his nose was. I have no idea, buddy. But
All right.
All right. Hey, that was an awesome couch cross. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Oh yeah,
That was definitely one of the more entertaining times I've had watching a race this year.
I'm
Or
just,
probably the most entertaining time I've had watching a race this year for sure.
We
I'm
should
glad the races weren't
we should
super
definitely we'll talk and see when we can get the next one scheduled for. And
Sure.
everybody who joined us for this, thanks for hanging out with us. Check out the podcast. Check out the new videos. Doug's probably going to have a new Down and Dirty coming out in the next couple of days. Tiller and I are going to be talking about his new segment. Not quite sure when that one's going to get worked out, but we'll work it out. And
What should we?
thanks
Let
for
us know what you guys think the Down and Dirty should be. I mean, is it Bam Bam driving it in oil pan deep on Roxon, or
yeah, that's probably a good one.
I like it.
otherwise it's what?
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a slow-mo of that one.
What's that?
I wouldn't mind seeing a slow-mo of that one.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Yeah,
it's freeze cross jumping. Maybe I'll throw them both together.
I think there were some pretty good passes, a few good passes just over the course of the night that would be nice to see. Like, I wouldn't mind seeing the Shimoda pass from the very first heat of the night. Again, his first pass in those next two lanes where he really made some action. That would be kind of cool to get to see what it was and how he made those passes.
Yeah.
I think if you're gonna do something, I think you should do like just the overall aggression of Barcia, because it wasn't just him throwing it in there with Roxon. Like, he T-boned Cianciarulo going into the first turn.
Oh yeah. Oh, just
I definitely need to watch
I
that
was trying
again.
to think about how long that clip would be if I went over the overall aggression of it. It's yeah. I mean, for the people that are still in here with us, just let us know. Hit us up on the Facebook or the Talk MX, man. I'll try to do whatever I can.
Yes, absolutely, Coda. Send me clips and let me know when you're riding too, because I'd like to go out and watch you.
You guys have fun with your segments and your podcasts. I will pop my face back in every once in a while, here and there, especially if it's Goldfish on Couchcross.
All right, guys, have a great night, and I'll talk to you all soon. And join us for the podcast on Thursday night.
Oh yeah. We'll see you.